Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Data here, and welcome to our live coverage of the 2023 NHL Entry Draft. Tonight, we'll be going through picks 1 to 32. We'll be here for the entirety of the first round, providing our live reactions, live analysis, live breakdowns of all the selections that are made, but also of all of the trades that are made. We'll be breaking it down as well, the moves that have already happened today. Riley Smith being traded to the Pittsburgh Penguins. Ivan Barbashev getting re-signed by the Vegas Golden Knights. We have heard rumors about the Canadiens and their 5th overall selection. Vinny, welcome to the stream. Dabrowski-Ego, happy draft day, my friend. We got Sportsnet open over here. Some sort of dramatic videos going on. Here you are at the draft. Yeah, no problem. Full honesty, full disclosure, I'm still the usual bracket, the image that I put up of the first round and all the teams and where they pick the draft board. I'm still only halfway done. I honestly only got home a few hours ago. I was out all day. Huge day at Videotron, new phones, new TV, new internet, everything for the house. So I've only been home for a very short time. And unfortunately, I don't have a ton prepared. So we'll start talking as we get into the evening, but just give me a few more minutes to get the draft board open here. Lots of deals going on this week. Absolutely. Do you think the Leafs will dump Matt Murray's contract? That's definitely one of their goals this offseason, even tonight. Mr. Michael Tummings, Mr. 782, how art thou? I'm doing well, my friend. Who are my Blackhawks taking tonight? I think his name rhymes with Schmoner Bedard. The man, the myth, the legend. Data Dexter, buddy. Welcome to the stream. So just give me a couple seconds. I'm at Penguins number 14. Let's see, 15 Predators, 16 Flames. Maybe the Canadiens making a swap, though, to 15, perhaps, moving down and getting Yaroslav Askarov, as that has been something many people have been talking about, as it seems as though the Predators are open to moving Askarov. Now the question will be, do the Canadiens pull a trigger to move down and select him? That will be very, very interesting. I'll go ahead and open this up as well. Would be funny if with the first, yeah, that'll be something. It's sounding more and more like Leo Carlson's going number 2 to Anaheim. So Fantilli could find himself in Columbus, and the Blue Jackets would love that. Dan, Data Buddy, who do you think my Caps are taking tonight? I don't want to throw any spoilers out there just yet. A lot of my analysis will be determined by what other teams are doing. Like if Michkov is there, the Capitals are definitely taking him. But if he goes way earlier, I have different theories, which I'll get to later on. Are you a Bettman hater? I wouldn't say I'm a Bettman hater. I'm not a Batman hater either. I think Bettman gets a bit of a bad rap because he's just the voice of the owners. And it's more the owners that people dislike. They don't even know that they dislike the owners, but Bettman's usually just the figurehead of them. Hoping Winnipeg moves Scheifele and Hellebuyck tonight. I don't think they will after making the trade that they did with Pierre-Luc Dubois. I think they're going to be hanging on to those pieces and trying to convince them to stay as much as they can by putting a good team around them. Yusei Saros, what is his contract situation? He is signed to a $5 million deal for this next season and the season after. So he is signed until the end of 2025. That's Saros' situation. So I'll put on Sportsnet here. Who's out here? Is Rick Nash? Oh, I thought that was Rick Nash talking.
It's going to get interesting in a hurry here today, Sammy.
Yeah, I'm looking. You often don't see teams with the top 5.
Let me know if you hear this okay.
We'll always see that tonight.
I'm looking at teams that have multi-first-round picks. There's 8 of them right now, 2 in particular. First of all, it starts with Arizona at 6 and 12. And then I look at St. Louis. We'll get a great player at 10. I don't expect Doug Armstrong to keep 25 and 29. Multi-pick teams make for interesting draft days.
9 teams without a pick. You have to imagine some of those are trying to work their way onto the draft floor. Let's get you out onto the draft floor. Elliot Friedman, Jeff Merrick, our 32 Fox buddies down there, ready to break whatever news might transpire tonight.
Yeah, Friedman's down there.
Quiet before the storm, I think, David, right now. No doubt about it. As Jason just mentioned, a lot of focus on what Anaheim does to Patrick. He's been good at keeping it quiet. The other thing, too, is when he was just told moments ago, greater than 50% chance Montreal keeps the pick.
So who knows what Kent Hughes is going to do?
Where we're standing right now. Kyle? Jeff.
We get confused often. We both have these Dick Tracy-like good looks and the wonderful coif hair. You know, picking up on what Elliot just said about the Montreal Canadiens there as well, I think we wonder about the Washington Capitals. Could they be the team trying to get up to that number 5?
The Caps could be a team that looks to trade up as well. I could see that.
We've heard that. You know, the Arizona team is a very popular team right now. Teams are trying to get into their spot as well and maybe block the Philadelphia Flyers from drafting someone like Matvei Michkov. This is a draft that has tons of questions here on the floor, and maybe one of the biggest, and we talked about this in the opening, guys, the Nashville Predators.
Predators, man. Predators.
Wants to leave a mark and wants to leave an impression and do something big. Can the Nashville Predators get into the top 10? That man there, he's wondering, can I get into the top 5? Maybe
he could.
To make an impact.
For Yaroslav Askarov, you can.
Those picks are in play. Yaroslav Askarov, the netminder playing with Milwaukee, maybe the best netminder outside of the NHL. He's in play as well. So it looks like the Nashville Predators.
I'm glad you like the Blink concert, Dexter.
But also want to leave the biggest mark on it.
You see a realistic scenario where the Blackhawks trade number 1? No, there is no way, unless they're getting Austin Matthews and William Nylander. I mean, maybe not that much, but there's no way that they're trading him, nor do teams have what it would take.
Chicago, whether it's Anaheim, whether it's Columbus, when these players get picked, we'll tell you how they fit into that team's pipeline. Meantime, it's catwalk time with Al Bukowskis.
Thank you, Jeff. You look great tonight as well. Well, Carrie Underwood, Morgan Wallen, Kane Brown, just a few of the acts that have performed.
So I'll be talking a lot more once I get this draft board done. I picked a bad day to be out of the house, unfortunately. I'm going to be done in just a few minutes. I'm done cracking at 21.
For music stars and future hockey stars. The Grand March to the National Hockey League, and Carolyn Cameron waiting to greet them on the other side. Carolyn.
Thanks, Kyle. In this business, that's what we call a true walk and talk. I'm going to be safely seated all night.
No, the draft is starting now.
They'll come here to this stage and talk to me for the first time in their brand new jerseys. They'll have their
draft starts at 7
on being drafted into
Eastern.
The NHL.
That's where we are now.
Also reflect on their journey. David?
All right, Kevin. Yeah, it's such an emotional night for so many of these families. Last year, we had 9 Canadians, Sam, picked in the first round. Do you expect that number to be eclipsed tonight?
Well, it's so multicultural, the draft now. When you think about how widespread all the talent is coming from, North America, Canada, and the U.S. You're looking at Slovaks, you're looking at Russian players, Czechia, Sweden, Finland, of course. So it is broadband. But when thinking about the Canadian players, I still think about
my draft board is almost done. Unfortunately, as I mentioned earlier, out of the house today for most of the day, unfortunately, which kept me from being able to do it before now. Really crunched for time, but thanks for holding on with me while we wait for the first overall pick. That's going to buy us a little bit of time. Here comes Gary.
In Nashville, Tennessee, the 2023 entry draft begins now.
Here's Big Gary now. Good evening, Nashville.
To all the prospects, family members, and friends, and especially the hockey fans here with us in Bridgestone Arena. And welcome to the many more watching around the world. Welcome to the 2023 Upper Deck NHL Draft.
Upper Deck.
2 nights ago in this building, we honored the very best of the spectacular 2022-23 NHL season at the NHL Awards. Tonight and tomorrow, we celebrate the future of our clubs. So that means we'll have had 2 major NHL events within 4 days in Nashville. This city also has hosted a previous draft, and within the last 7 years, an All-Star game, a Stadium Series game, and a Stanley Cup final.
And lost the Stanley Cup final.
There should be no doubt that Nashville loves and supports NHL hockey. So thank you.
Woo!
And with the wonderful history of the Predators, it is worth noting that no one has done more over the last 26 years to build this model franchise and the city of Nashville into a destination hockey market than David Poile.
That's good, Andrew. That's good, Andrew.
As this is your 26th
I'm sorry about
and
that.
final draft as general manager of the Predators, your 40th draft
Not always,
as
Dan.
an NHL
I don't
general
believe.
manager. The league and the Preds want to honor you on this special occasion. And to do so, I'm enlisting the help of a couple of your best all-time draft picks. The 38th overall pick in the 2008 draft and current captain of the Predators, Roman Josi.
Wow, here he is.
And an all-time late-round gem.
Thanks, Derek.
The Preds' 8th-round pick in 2004 and franchise icon Pekka
I thought I was going to say Patrick Hornquist. Rene! Thanks, Derek. Chronos, good to see you, buddy. Let me know if you're able to see this clearly. Let me know if it's nice and clear on your screens.
David, as a thank you, we want to present you this guitar from Gibson. So thank you, Gibson. Just want to say thank you for everything you've done for the NHL, but especially for Nashville. You're the reason this place is called Smashville. So from the bottom of our heart, thank you very much, and we hope you enjoy retirement.
Roman and Pekka, thank you for your wonderful gift. It's beautiful. And Gary, thank you for the kind words.
Gary.
Introduction. In 1997, I came here with the goal and the vision to make Nashville a successful hockey city. A general manager is only good as the people around him, and I've been very fortunate to work with many great people on and off the ice who have shared my goals and vision. Thank you to every one of my colleagues, past and present, and thank you to the Smashville's great fans for making Nashville one of the most successful and passionate cities in the National Hockey League. And as I pass the torch to Barry Trotz, I am very confident that the best is yet to come for the Nashville Predators. May this year's draft class enjoy a great success. Good luck to all the players and all the teams. Nashville, thank you for the greatest 26 years in my hockey career. Thank you.
Bravo, bravo, bravo!
Thank you, Roman and Pekka. David, congratulations.
Hey, Landon.
And it's time to get to work. You can do better than that.
Hey, forza!
Now you're talking. The first pick in the 2023 NHL Draft belongs to the Chicago Blackhawks.
Here we go.
Chicago, you're on the clock.
No, Jaeger won't go top 10. All right, so there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. There's the introduction. Here's my graphic that I was working on so diligently. As the picks go off the board, we will start filling in those spots. In previous years, honestly, just due to time constraints, I've done a lot more research. I've had mock drafts. I've already done a couple career simulations, anticipating where players may go. This year, after my first year of full-time work and working 5 days a week, I wasn't able to quite do that. And with now so many live streams with the breaking news and trades the last couple of days, I haven't been able to do that either. So we'll still be able to break it down as we go. I have a lot of information on the side here that I'll be reading that I've done my research already for. Even though I don't necessarily know at pick number 26, should it be this guy or this guy, I will be able to tell you more about that player and why that player fits. Not so much why, this team should have taken this guy. Maybe not quite yet, but I appreciate you joining us here this evening. We'll be here for the entire first round of coverage. It'll be a fun time, and I can't wait to see what happens as there's many trades being rumored around. Of course, we're going to have Twitter refreshing nonstop. When the things get a little bit slow, we'll start breaking down the moves that already happened today, such as has Riley Smith being traded and Ivan Barbashev. Yes, I live streams the draft. Yes, we're live, buddy. Maybe I should share it on Twitter. Give me a second. Oh, they're asking did the draft get rigged for Bedard for Chicago?
I'm very confident.
That is tremendous. And there's Chicago.
Hey, Nate, welcome to the stream.
In this year's draft, Kyle Davidson, the young GM, just 34
All right.
years of age, stepping to the podium.
First stop, Connor Bedard. Chicago's up.
Nashville.
These guys are trying to get me copyright strikes. Come on. Stop playing the music, go up to the podium. Come on now.
Chicago Blackhawks would first like to recognize the incredible career of David Poile and congratulate him on his retirement.
There you go. Everyone's going to give a nice congrats to David Poile.
We'd also like to congratulate the Vegas Golden Knights on their Stanley Cup championship. We'd like to say hi to all of the Blackhawks fans back in Chicago at the Salt Shed. The Blackhawks fans here tonight and all the Blackhawks fans watching around the world.
Here we go.
With the first overall selection in the 2023 NHL Draft, the Chicago Blackhawks are very proud to select from the Regina Pats, the Western Hockey League, Connor Bedard.
Yes, sir! Connor Bedard, drafted by the Chicago Blackhawks. Very, very well done to Connor Bedard. A well-deserved first overall. And Blackhawks fans everywhere rejoicing with the news that Connor Bedard is officially a Chicago Blackhawk.
Sister Maddie, and a very pretty cerebral celebration there. You can probably test hot to exhale now, Sam.
So as I start breaking it down, obviously we're not watching anything, we're listening more than anything. Let's start breaking it down. I don't even have too much to say about Connor Bedard. Honestly, what can be said about him? 143 points in 57 games in Regina, the WHL. 71 goals in those 57 games. In 62 games, the season prior, he had 100 points. So in the last 2 years in Regina, he has scored 243 points in 118 games? Is that it? 117 games? Something like that. So incredible stuff for Connor Bedard. He's going first overall. He's going to have Taylor Hall on his left wing. He can't wait to do what he has just been waiting to do. Some people are just made for the big stage, as they say here. Bedard shaking hands with Big Gary. Incredible wrist shot. That's probably his best. I think if you have to give him a player type, I guess he's under sniper, but he's a great skater. I think his defensive two-way game will just be something that comes along with time, similar to how Connor McDavid has seen his come along now that he's 24, 25 into those years. I think that'll be exactly what happens for Connor Bedard. His defensive game will come around. Right now, he has the shot. He has the skating. What more can be said about him? I don't know. And he had 23 points in the World Juniors. Yeah, the World Juniors. He had 23 points in 7 games of the World Juniors. Not much more that can be said about Connor Bedard. Elite player, 70 goals in the WHL. Crazy rate of scoring. Great wrist shot. Great hands on top of it as well. Well, I think what Bedard does exceptionally well is, on top of that, is that he draws a lot of players. Defense systems will collapse on him. So if he can draw 3-4 guys on him and dish it over to Taylor Hall, then that's great too. He doesn't have to be always just shooting and sniping. There's a lot of other things that he can do as well. Yeah, incredible points over 2 years. So now here's the big question with Anaheim now up next. The question will be, do they go for Leo Carlsson or for Adam Fantilli? There's been a lot of people thinking that it may be Leo Carlsson. That has been the growing, not the growing, like, what's the word I'm looking for? The growing feel is that he's going to be Leo Carlsson, but I still will not be surprised if Adam Fantilli goes at number 2. It's just that Leo Carlsson is sounding more and more likely. Hey, they have Connor Bedard in NHL 23 over here. Are they trying to steal my career simulation? Come on now. I should actually be sharing that career simulation where I can. Actually, can I make this a little closer for all of you who are? Hey, even better. Look at this. How about that? That's going to be great for all of you watching. So I just got a few things to do. Of course, I'm going to get the Bedard simulation. I want to make it shareable for people who are going to be tweeting about all this. See what Bedard has to say.
On myself is it's crazy, and just growing up, and obviously I won the 3 cups when I was growing up and watching, and the players that played there, it's remarkable. So I couldn't be happier.
How much do you know about Chicago?
Yeah, Bedard is officially drafted.
Just a little of their sports, really. They've had a lot of iconic moments, the Bulls, and Blackhawks, Bears, and Cubs, everything, White Sox. So that's kind of mostly what I know. Hopefully I can get to know a little better soon.
You'll be getting there pretty soon. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
David?
Oh, that smile says it all. Such a humble young man. Jeff Merrick, what do you want to add?
There's a few things. I had a chance to talk to Ron Robinson over the weekend. He's the commissioner of the Western Hockey League about Connor Bedard. And he said, look, we've never seen anything like this in the Western League. And Bedard goes into this pantheon of great Western Hockey League players like Brian Trottier and Joe Sakic and Bobby Clark and Carey Price. And I'll tell you what, David, is as junior hockey leagues,
He now fits in with Lucas Reichel, Frank Nazar, Kevin Korchinski.
By the end of this season, the Western Hockey League was within 5% of when COVID hit, and Ron Robinson points out that's mainly because of the.
I really doubt that St. Louis makes all 3
Giant
picks.
Pats went on the road, Alberta, when they went to Saskatchewan, and specifically when they went to British Columbia, his home province. It was sellout after sellout after sellout. I'll tell you what, I hope you had a chance to enjoy him with junior hockey prices, David, because those days are over.
I'm waiting for that too, Nebraska Eagle.
All right, again, exceptional players who've gone first.
Tavares, Ekblad, McDavid, and now Bedard.
Tavares, Ekblad, of course, the other Connor.
I'm just spamming the Bedard simulation right now in every tweet I can find.
Young man seems so poised and ready to do it. We'll have much more with Connor Bedard. We'll have him on our set a little bit later, but officially he is the first overall pick. Let's move to the second overall pick, and that's the Anaheim Ducks. So many good options.
The Ducks are hanging out to number 2, it's looking like. I don't know, they're still sitting down, but no, the pick is in. So the Ducks are selecting at number 2.
Two guys in particular here. Adam Fantilli was the Hobie Baker Award winner. This year,
this is their highest pick since picking Bobby Ryan in 2005.
Unbelievable playing in the SHL, a really difficult league. Was able to play there all season long. Pretty good in the playoffs too. But both guys are big centers and probably in the tier of their own when you consider some of the other forwards in this draft class a little bit more towards that average size, 6 foot or just under, 170 pounds or just over. Now we're thinking about size in one of 2 centers here.
All right, meanwhile, Kyle Davidson, all smiles after that pick of Connor Bedard. He's with our Elliot Friedman.
Kyle, congratulations.
You're still waiting on this next pick, I guess.
What you learned about Connor Bedard that you didn't realize through this process?
Extremely humble. I think you saw how he handled the lead up to the draft, and everyone was telling him he was going to be number 1. I'm sure he knew he was going to be number 1, but the way he handled it with such class was unbelievable.
Only a 4? You only gave yourself a 4 out of 10 on hockey knowledge?
Yeah, well, 4 would know. They don't know who I am. Yeah.
Congratulations, Kyle. Enjoy.
Thank you very much.
David?
Yeah, that was quite a scene, interviewing Kyle Davidson and not knowing it. They're going to know who he is in Chicago, and they're certainly going to know who Connor Bedard is. Meanwhile, we're waiting on the GM, Pat Verbeek, as the Anaheim contingent is making its way to the podium.
All right, Anaheim's going up.
Give a bigger context here, Jason, about how deep and good this draft is, because a lot of comparisons, people are saying 2003.
Yeah, well, if we look back to even last year, with all due respect, I think the pick's going to be made here, guys, so I'll just hold on.
We're here, Avery.
All right, we'll get you down to the floor. Commissioner shaking hands with the Ducks contingent.
All right, now it's going to be Leo Carlsson or Adam Fantilli. Or do they go way off the board? This is where things start to get interesting.
We would like to welcome all our fans watching at our draft party at Brewery X. With our first selection, we are proud to select from Marlboro SHL, Leo Carlsson.
Wow. Not a crazy upset, but our first selection of the night where that is not what people were expecting from the very get-go. Leo Carlsson to the Anaheim Ducks. Adam Fantilli drops to Columbus at 3 most likely. And Columbus will love getting to pick Fantilli at number 3. A player that in any other draft, usual draft, would probably be number 1.
What strikes me, you look at that suit, it's black, it's a thinning suit, but make no mistake.
Let's bring up the numbers on Leo Carlsson. I may know a lot about the player, but I don't have all the numbers memorized. Leo Carlsson, 25 points in 44 games in Sweden. He was the Swedish Junior Hockey League Player of the Year, and he was also tied for 3rd in in scoring in Sweden at the 2023 World Juniors. And it's already in the system here, drafted number 2. He's 6'3", a Boxing Day baby. Leo Carlsson at center. What is going to happen now with the Ducks, with Zegras, with McTavish, with Lundstrom, a lot of centermen in the system. But Leo Carlsson to Anaheim is a huge move for their franchise, and we'll see how that pans out in future years.
You're going to hear that a lot this draft class. There's a lot of humble individuals. I'm just going to get right to the stump speak here. Big body, tough along the wall.
Big body, tough along the walls.
People around him always got to be active because they're always going to be in the play. This is a guy that extends it from the hash marks down. You score goals when you build your steam through the middle.
Yeah, great game down the middle, Leo Carlsson.
A lot of us expected maybe Adam Fantilli here. I'm sure there were some members of this Duck brass that said, let's go with Fantilli. How did those debates work out?
It'd be a tough debate.
Very high ceiling, great two-way impact. And you know what? That's kind of what the Ducks need because they have the flashy centerman of Trevor Zegras, but now they have the two-way, more responsible guy. Maybe they weren't sold on McTavish as being that centerman, as having that center role as a two-way shutdown guy. Leo Carlsson can do that and put up the points as well. Very strong, very talented, great playmaker as well. He's not just a two-way guy. Great playmaker, great control of the puck, high-end IQ, all great assets that makes him a great pick at 2nd overall. Fantilli's going to stare down the Ducks? I don't know. I don't know if Fantilli drops further than 3, then he's starting to stare down some players. Very cerebral. Yeah, that's how they describe him. He can be described as a power forward and a two-way forward and a playmaker, in my opinion. He makes plays off the rush with excellent puck touch. He has an ability to play the middle and the wing as well. That's just me reading. That's my thoughts plus me reading a bit off Sportsnet here. I'm not going to pretend that I'm a great European scout or anything. But I think a great way to describe him, there's one scout who said that Carlsson has a very well-rounded toolkit. Good skater, good size, and elite puck skills. Those are talents you can't teach. Those are things that you love as a team that wants to develop a player because you can't teach that stuff. Yeah. Bit of a shocker, but not too much. Just a bit of a surprise there. Just a tad. So Columbus, they're still on the clock. I think there is no chance that they don't make their selection. They're definitely going to be picking. And I would be floored if it is not Adam Fantilli. I have so many tabs open, so many windows open. If you live in Montreal, you know what I'm talking about. I'm going Helix on Videotron. That's going to help my internet. Yeah, I do like that pick very much, although it wasn't necessarily the obvious one, especially a couple of weeks ago or even further than that. Let's see what Leo Carlsson has to say.
I don't know what to say right now. I have so many clips now.
You had a lot of interviews. Did you have a feeling that Anaheim was interested?
Yeah, I mean, I had two interviews. One at Scotland and one yesterday. So
hey, RJ, welcome to the stream.
Good, that's a good plan for me. So, yeah, I'm excited.
Okay, so now you're headed to the West Coast near the beach. I know you're a really big basketball fan. You want to go see an NBA game. When you make it to the NHL, what game do you want to see?
I don't know, really, to be honest. To see LeBron or Kevin Durant probably is my goal. I don't know. We'll see.
Okay, well, geography is working in your favor in Anaheim.
Yeah.
Close. Congratulations.
Thank you so
Elliot?
Pat, you had us all guessing. What tipped the scales for Carlsson?
Now talking to GM Pat Verbeek.
Excited about his creativity, his hockey sense. I think there's a potential for him to really be a dominant player at both ends of the ice. We liked him especially seeing them at the World Championships play center, and so it kind of tipping point.
Canadians at 5. A lot is going to depend on what San Jose does at 4.
Well, you know what? We're going to kind of go through the process with him. We'll have to see.
All right, the pick is in. Columbus is going up to the stage.
All right, well, we see Columbus is ready. They're pretty eager to get up there and make their pick with the number 3 pick. Yarmo Kekalainen, lots of great options there. Of course, Adam Fantilli still around. Will Smith, another talented center from the U.S. team. Let's hear what Columbus will do with the
Yarmo Kekalainen, it's up to you now, buddy.
In Nashville.
Yeah, everyone's smiling at Columbus. Guaranteed it's going to be Adam Fantilli. I start typing it almost. I'm ready to start typing. But Fantilli going from California to Columbus, Ohio. I wonder if that upsets him.
Thank you, Nashville. We appreciate the great time you've shown us all. Congratulations, Vegas. To a hockey lifer and a good friend, David Boyle, again, congratulations. Good man. Our fans back in Columbus, they're called the Fifth Lion. They are at Pins in Easton. Have a party, gang. We appreciate y'all. To make our
have a party, everybody. And there's Trevor Timmins, former Canadians scout Trevor Timmins, a former assistant general manager.
Columbus Blue Jackets are proud to select from the University of Michigan.
Yes, sir.
Adam Fantilli.
Absolutely. Great selection, the right selection to make. And it's not that he fell. It's just that in such a strong draft, Columbus is very lucky to have such a strong draft. This is a player that could have gone number 1 in a different season. 6'2", 187. He is a great centerman for the University of Michigan. We'll pull up the stats as well on Fantilli. Have a party, gang. Have a party, y'all. Fantilli had 65 points in 36 games. Those are crazy numbers. For a first-year player at the U of Michigan, usually you see guys going point per game, stuff like that. 30 goals and 65 points in 36 games for Adam Fantilli. Those are really big numbers. I don't think anyone's talking enough about his offensive abilities as well. Adam Fantilli can be ridiculous out there. Another guy who can be a future first-line centerman, great size, great speed, great playmaking ability, the IQ, the puck handling, all that stuff. It all comes together to make him a very, very attractive prospect. You can't teach size, stuff like that. He has it all. I think, as most prospects we'll be talking about tonight, what he has to work on is the defensive game. And I was reading even that his shot accuracy isn't great. His shot is the one thing that maybe could be struggling. But hey, if his shot's struggling, he scores 30 goals in 36 games, I wouldn't be too worried. Adam Fantilli at number 3. Let's look at what the chat has to say about this one. Hey, Joseph won 126 on Fantilli. There you go, buddy. Landon, I'm bummed that he ended up in Columbus. Anywhere else would it be better for my personal enjoyments. Right. Michigan guy has to go to the home of the Buckeyes in Ohio. That's true. That's true as well. Who are we feeling at 4? I think now is where the top 3, the 1, 2, and 3 were interchangeable. But now that we get to 4, the Sharks have a big decision to make. I could see it being Will Smith. I could see it being Matvei Michkov. I could see it being even someone a bit more out of the box-ish, like a Ryan Leonard that some people have been talking about. I don't think it's outside of those 3 players I just named, though. I don't think it's outside of those 3 names. I think between Michkov, Smith, and Leonard for the Sharks here at number 4.
Overly familiar with, and then you're asked to play the ring, you're asked to play a little bit lower in the lineup.
You think Will Smith? I think Will Smith might be the most likely, but I think any of those names make sense.
He went out and played the role he was asked to play, played it extremely well, and by the end of it, he started to see some power play minutes again, a really successful World Juniors squad.
Yeah, I mean, it takes more than just will and skill. It takes character to winning the NHL at the hardest time of year. And here, you're looking at some of his highlights coming in late off the rush here. He's a play driver, but he sees the ice extremely well. I mean, he's not just going to be on the
Fantilli centering Gaudreau and Laine. How about that? A first line of Patrick Laine, Johnny Gaudreau, and Adam Fantilli.
separation. It's a track meet. The league is a track meet nowadays, and he's going to fit right in, no problem at NHL pace.
Dabrowski with a $1.99 donation, hoping the Canadien Montréal get Askarov or Michkov. I would love that. I would love that, Dabrowski. Thank you for the donation, and thank you for those kind wishes. Let's cross those fingers.
The family last night, and they were very emotional last night, and the mother actually said, Julia said, it takes a whole community to get some of this spot.
Would Fantilli center that first line right away?
Let's send it down to the floor in Carolyn County.
They already have Fantilli over on the Blue Jackets. I have to start running simulations. Probably tonight I have to start running simulations. I don't know what. There's a lot of simulations that I have to run. I don't know what I'm going to do. They all take like a couple days each to do. I want to have them all done right now, but unfortunately that is not the case. What's up over? Let's see what Fantilli has to say.
So grateful to have them all in my lives and to be here with my brother and my parents. They've been with me through everything, so excited to be here with them.
Would a little kid growing up in Nobleton, Ontario ever think that this would happen?
I don't know. I don't think so. It's pretty surreal.
You've accomplished almost everything you can in college hockey. Do you think you'll return to Michigan, or are you NHL ready?
I'm not sure yet. We got to talk
here,
and then we got to talk with the people on me and see what the best fit would be. But Columbus is a great spot.
Hey, Jeremy, welcome to the stream.
Check it out against Ohio State and everything like that. It's a great spot, so I'm super excited.
Well, congratulations and have fun.
All right, the pick is
Thanks
in.
so much.
San Jose's going up.
Kyle?
The pick is in.
Carol and David mentioned the massive.
I'm going to say Eileen Will Smith here. For Fantilli, does he play next year? Does he go back to Michigan? Oftentimes, players out of universities, they'll go back and play. Like Logan Cooley last year, drafted 3rd overall. He went back and he's going back again for 2 more years at university now in total. Does Fantilli go back? I could see it, but I think that he has the ability to make the jump if Columbus feels like he is in, if that's the best organizationally for them. Right, he says he's not sure if he's NHL ready, so we'll see what happens. I think he has the skill set to be NHL ready, but it wouldn't be a bad idea if they give him another year. Will it be Will Smith here at number 4 to the San Jose Sharks? This is their 6th top 4 pick in the last, I didn't see how many years it was. They've only drafted 2 defensemen in the first round in the last 10 years, Ryan Merkley and what's his name, Mirko Mueller?
This run of centers really off to a good start here for the National Hockey League draft, but that's an important.
Give me the trades, Gary. Where do you think Logan Stankoven would have went in this draft? It's tough because now we know a lot more than we knew about him when he was drafted, right? Let's see what San Jose does at number 4, which will greatly affect Montreal at number 5.
And maybe they'll help themselves here. Mike Greer was hired before last draft. Let's hear what he has to say.
Thank you, Nashville. You guys have been a great host. We've really enjoyed our time here. Congratulations to David Boyle. Great career managing. Someone who's been great to me and helped mentor me through along my first year. Also like to congratulate Vegas Golden Knights in the Cup win.
Big congrats to everybody.
Kelly McCrimmon. And I'd like to say hello and thank you to our fans watching around the world and at the SAP Center tonight. To make our pick is Sharks legend, NHL all-time,
Patrick Marleau.
Leader, Patrick Marleau.
There he is. Let's see it.
With the first selection overall, the San Jose Sharks are proud to select Will Smith.
Woo! Just goes ahead and says it. Bang. Will Smith off to the San Jose Sharks. Now, do the Canadians use number 5 on Matvei Michkov? Do they go for the talent? Do they look to make a trade? Boy, I don't see the Canadians having a huge hole anywhere organizationally. Players, they have the prospects to fill the holes that they have. I don't think they need to say we need a left winger, we need a right winger, we need a centerman, we need a defenseman. I don't think any of those things. What they need would be we need a goalie. So trade that pick for Askarov. Let's go. Let's listen to what they say about Will Smith. He averaged 2.12 points per game with the under-18 national team development program.
Number 2. You know what? I still watched Eric Brian Leach. I got to watch him play a little bit. He was one of my favorite players. I'm going to go with number 2 plus. Hey, it's a little bit different. for a forward, so give him credit for jumping outside of the box a little bit.
Sure, that's true, right? Freshman.
Fantastic year all
For
the way
Will
around.
Smith.
He's 127 points through mixed competition against the USHL, against college, internationally against the toughest teams in the world, at the M13s, the 5 nations.
Big handshake with Gary.
Time putting up 127 points. Impressive stuff from Will Smith.
Well said, Sammy. I don't know if I can really double down on it, but the reality is all offense for this kid, okay? He's a motion player. What I mean by that is he doesn't stop on the play often enough for the pro game. He gets away with it here at the U.S. National Team Development Program and amongst
Which
the peer group.
Will Smith
but as
is
he
this?
matures, he's not going to be able to blow the defensive zone looking for loose spots in the neutral zone to go
William
on offense
Smith,
all
there
the
he is.
time. He's going to have to stop and start more.
42 points in 20 games this past year with the U.S. National Development Team. 4th overall to the San Jose Sharks. William Smith.
Defensively, because the skill set is elite.
Let me ask you this, though. When you play with 2 guys who are as elite as Leonard and Flo, the opportunity to cheat the game a little bit because you have that great chemistry, would that present maybe some of the cheat in his game because he's got such great chemistry?
He's 6 foot. He's a dynamic offensive forward. Great creativity offensively, but also reliable defensively. One of the top 4 players to go so far. He's probably second after Carlson in terms of his defensive abilities as of today. I think Will Smith is better defensively than Bedard, and is he better than Fantilli? I don't know, hard to say, but I think that his defensive ability is higher than the normal player that you think, oh, he's just all offense and he has to learn his defense. I think he has a good defensive ability already as well. Great two-way talent.
He is, just an elite player.
Again, I like reading the quotes of what the scouts have to say about these players because as much as I can do my own analysis, I'm not scouting them. So Craig Button said he's one of those players that has a real subtle excellence to him. A subtle excellence. I like that. Now, what are the Canadians going to do? Will Smith just has to work on his skating a little bit, but aside from that, he's good to go. I like that pick for San Jose. What are the Canadians going to do here at number 5? Do they go Ryan Leonard? Do they go Matvei Mishkov? Do they make a trade here? As the pick is not in yet, they're still at the table. Oh, I heard a woman talking. I thought it was to say bring out Gary for a trade to announce. Most career points on the U.S. National Development Team. It goes Jack Hughes at 228, then Will Smith at 191, then Clayton Keller at 189, and a player who will be drafted later tonight, Gabriel Perreault at 185. The Canadians are still sitting. Oh, no, the pick is in. The pick is in. Selecting 5th for the 6th time in franchise history. First time since Carey Price in 2005. The pick is in. No trade. I would have loved Askarov if that was even something on the table. Are we going Matvei? Come on, Mishkov. You have to think that if they're making the pick is because they're waiting to see if Mishkov would have dropped. I wasn't sure if I really wanted him. Well, I know I always wanted him. I wasn't sure if he was really my guy, and now I'm really feeling it. Let's go, Mishkov. He's still sitting there. The pick is in. He's just sitting there. I think a Mishkov simulation would be the first thing that I have to do. I've already done a Bedard simulation. They're still sitting there. Come on, Trent. Has to be Mishkov. Come on. They're going to talk to Will Smith now.
Unbelievable. I mean, it's surreal and good to be with my family. It's unbelievable.
And we saw you embracing your U.S. teammates, including your line mates and Gabe Perreault and Ryan Leonard. What does it mean to share this night with them?
It's so special. I mean, I wouldn't be here without them. They're 2 of the best players in this draft, and I mean, I love those guys. And I mean, Morrissey's the best too. So I just love hanging out with those guys, and those are my brothers.
And nice
no trade. The pick is in.
Too for the walk-up song. Will, congratulations.
Thank you.
I don't think that. No, and now they're on the stage anyways. It'll say on the clock, and then once the pick is gone, it'll say the pick is in. Here we go. I'm standing. I'm holding the mic, and I'm standing. Here we go. I'd be happy with anybody at this point, any of the big guys, but I think Mishkov's who I really want right now. Kent.
I'd like to start by congratulating the Vegas Golden Knights.
Yeah.
Also like to wish David Poyle all the best in retirement.
Yes, sir.
J'aimerais saluer
Ah oui, absolument. Merci bien. Merci pour la passion.
Our selection, I will invite up our former 5th overall in 2000.
Carey
Price.
Carey. Bonsoir. Come on. Let's go. You're kidding me. Doesn't even remember his name. Reinbacher.
We planned it that way.
Oh.
David Reinbacher.
Hey, come on. Come on, you don't even know his name, Carey. Go to the beach, you're tired. Take your LTIR and go to the beach. Just go. David Reinbacher. Come on. Like, I'm sure we're all going to love him. But you waited to 5 to see if you're going to trade and see if he dropped. Of course he was going to drop. No, they did talk to Michkov. They did. They did talk to Michkov.
And a nice moment. David,
come on.
The moment you've been waiting for. Now, what does it mean to you? Along with Thomas Vanek, the highest selected Austrian ever to the National Hockey League, what does that mean to you? Did you have any idea that Montreal was interested and was going to take you?
They're still talking to him as he's walking. Can't even hear what he's saying. Mute. Mute the television. I can't even hear what he's saying. Music is blasting. He's whispering down the catwalk. He looks like he's about to throw up. They're trying to talk to him while he's trying to shake hands with Batman. Come on. What is this? Bush League. Bush League. Can I open the volume now?
Look at Montreal.
Thank you.
Think about the defensemen. On a lot of nights last year, they dressed 5 rookie defensemen. Jack Guy, Harris, Struvel's on the way. Caden Gooley when he's back and healthy. So this position,
he's a right-handed shot. He's the most NHL-ready defenseman in this class. I'm not upset with this pick. But Michkov is. You're gonna look back at this one and you're gonna say, "Wow!" I think you're really gonna say, "Wow." If last year the best NHL defenseman was Nemec and then Jiricek, imagine the Canadiens getting one of those guys now. Right-handed shot, good frame. Austrian with great defensive IQ, which is what the Canadiens need as well. Engages physically, and he has offensive, dynamic offensive threat. Is not the most offensive dynamic threat.
I would take Ryan Leonard here. I would take Ryan Leonard in this slot, but I don't want to take away the moment from the kid here, because this kid was an exceptional interview, and he's a high.
Cameron, you can scroll back if you want to see my live reaction. And Price couldn't even remember the name. Carey, come on, Carey. Great defensive IQ, good physicality, good strength. He's a competitive guy. Let's look at the stats here.
He can defend, he can do everything. I'll let Jason talk to that. But it's hard to find right shot here.
The value of the right-handed D, 22 points in 46 games in Switzerland, playing in Swiss A.
When you're a big right shot guy, he takes away the kid when we're the boards. I don't know if you guys know this.
I don't mean to take it away from him. He's great, coveted right shot, two-way D-man. Very smart, good piece, and he's worth the number 5 pick. Yes, I agree, Andrew. I agree. It's just that, as I said, it's not who I thought it was going to be in that moment, and it's hard. Not getting Michkov would have been one thing, but to pass on him when he's there, it does fill the need a bit more than Michkov would have. And I look forward to having Reinbacher on this team. I'm very excited to have him on board now that I have a second to cool down after Carey Price disgusted me. A very solid player, not as flashy. He joins other prospects, Lane Hudson and Caden Gooley on the left side, and he can be on the right side. He's the future of the right side.
Listen, as Chuck mentioned, he wasn't a huge prospect before. In fact, he wasn't considered a first-rounder back in October. But
He wasn't even considered a first rounder in October. But now he's the highest drafted Austrian in NHL history.
20 years ago, right here in Nashville, went 5th overall.
So now the big question, let's start thinking about this now. I got to move off the Canadiens. Did the Coyotes take Michkov at 6 and banish him to Arizona? Or does Philadelphia say we want to trade up to get him? Or does he just drop to Philly at 7? I'm sure Philly would love to take him.
Your thoughts overall on what we've seen so far?
All the most coveted positions.
So they're going to talk about it for a little bit. The most coveted positions are going as you have your first line centerman, your scoring first line centerman, your first line shutdown guy, your first line power forward, your first line two-way guy. Now you have your first pair right D. I'm going to probably be the biggest Reinbacher fan in a few years, right? Even right now, I'm already a big fan. I like what he does. I can't say I thought that he was going to go at this point, but I'm excited to see what he'll be able to do on the Canadiens in that spot that, it was Jeff Petrie before, and Petrie tried to drive that offense and he did very well, but at a certain point he was costing too much. He was too old. Now there's a big hole in that spot. I didn't think the Canadiens had any huge holes in their lineup, but aside from goalie, I guess I would admit that if there is one skater's position that they're missing, it is the right-hand D. I don't know if I'd say that's a blunder just yet, but I am probably going to look back on this and say, man, I love him, but Michkov.
So what's fascinating too is not
Here
only
we are with
playing
Reinbacher now.
hockey in Switzerland, but you also have a job as a headhunter.
Yeah.
Do you think now's the time to resign?
No, I gotta do school one more year, so the job is also one more year, so I do it. It's kind of part of my job. I like it. It's something different to hockey.
Good for you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
David?
All right, well, let's get down. Arizona's on the clock, and they look just about ready to make their pick. In fact, you heard Jeff say they have the 6th pick. They also
Coyotes are up.
Pick, which they got in the Jacob Chikrin trade from Ottawa. So Bill Armstrong will be a busy man over the next.
You would think that this is Michkov, but I could see this also being a nice, they could say, oh, Ryan Leonard, we didn't think he was going to drop here, but here he is. What did the Coyotes do?
On behalf of the Arizona Coyotes, we'd like to congratulate the Vegas Knights on winning the Stanley Cup. We'd also like to thank the Nashville Predators and their amazing fans for hosting us this week. And to all of our fans in Arizona at Wasted Grain in Scottsdale.
All 36 of them.
And to make our selection, I'd like to invite Ryan Janikowski.
Who? Man, did they bring the whole team on the stage?
Are proud to select
Here we go.
From Locomotive Yaroslav.
Wait, what? 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 I thought it was going Michkov as soon as I heard Locomotive. Simashev? Arizona, what are you doing? What? Ooh, that is off the board. How do I even spell this guy's name? Hold on a second. Simashev, is that it? Simashev, okay, simple enough. Wow. Simashev.
I think about their forward group moving forward, and yes, I think they're well stocked there. But defense is something they had to address. Reinbacher surely would have been in the conversation there.
Come on, why is this taking so long?
A little bit of a jump for me on Simashev, but again, this is a team that can afford the time to wait for a player to come over. Those 18 KHL games, really impressive for Simashev.
Just the 7th Russian D-man selected in the first round over the last 10 years, and a bit of a surprise, some raised eyebrows certainly on this set. Jason, your eyebrows were raised pretty high. What's going on?
He's not the best player available, guys. And I have no disrespect to the player.
No disrespect, I agree. No disrespect, but I don't think he's the best player available there.
30, you could have managed it differently, traded back to get this.
Yeah, you could have traded back to get this guy.
Strategize the whole thing a little bit differently. That's the bottom line.
Chuck, what do you think happened here?
Now you got to think that Michkov goes to the Flyers. They were really high on him, supposedly, and now he drops to them. But on top, they still have, forget just thinking about Michkov at 7. You can still do Ryan Leonard. You can still do Zach Benson. You can still do Dalibor Dvorsky. You can still go defense for Axel Sandin Palika. There's a lot of options here for the Flyers. But I think this is my first spot that I think this is definitely going to be Michkov. I hope he doesn't turn it into my Kemmel. Kemmel last year, I was saying for like 6 picks that it was going to be him. Wow. Simashev. You know what? I'm gonna have to pull up the draft report on him. Where was he ranked? He was ranked 22nd out of European skaters, 12th on Elite Prospects, 35th by Bob McKenzie. This was in March, by the way. Big defensive defenseman with a defensive fortitude. What can I read about him? No points in 18 KHL games this season, but inconsistent minutes. In 33 games in the MHL, like the Russia's AHL, their junior league, he scored 12 points in 33 games. Wow. One quote said that he was a breakout wizard, great at escaping pressure with the puck, simple yet effective game, rarely attempts to overstep or overcommit, smart defenseman. But I still got to say I'm surprised. Going to commercial break here. Simashev can be a Hedman-type stopper, just won't be the same player on offense. That's the thing. He'll have strong defensive ability, but he is definitely not going to be that guy offensively at all. It moves well, big size. I don't think there's any issues with him as a first-round prospect. But you're not even calling him a top 10 pick. You're calling him a top 6 pick. I won't even say there was better players available. There were even better defensemen available. He was projected. Well, projections have a lot of different things. The projection that I was looking at just on the side to have an idea of where players are going. Is he even in this list? He was out here, 15th. I have him at a 15th at I have one ranking that compiles all of everybody. Bob McKenzie, Craig Button, hockey prospects, Scott Wheeler at The Athletic, elite prospects, hockey prospects, all those guys. It compiles it into one big list based on all those averages. And it had Dmitry Simashev at 15th. So everyone had him ranked differently, but he was going to go 15th, mid-first round pick. That would make sense, mid-first round pick. But, you know, I think it's not that there were better defensive defensemen available, but I think the better defenseman, if you're just calling it defense, I think Axel Sandin-Pellikka would have been the better choice just as a defenseman. But he's a 5'11" guy with offensive flair. Simashev is 6'4", a 6'4" rock. So two very different types of defensemen. I think Michkov's going to Philly here. What if the Caps made a deal to go into the top 7 to let him play with us? Yeah, that would be incredible. But I think the Flyers really want him as well. I think Arizona also wanted Reinbacher. I think that's also true. It is going to be crazy to look back at this draft in 10 years. I wait to see what happens here. But that's a great point from Derek. Take your guy. No problem. I'm not going to slight you for wanting Simashev. But how do you not trade down with all the interest in some other players, namely Michkov? The pick is in. The Flyers are selecting. True. Fair point, Andrew. Fair point. But I think the fact still remains that they likely could have traded down at least a few picks. Especially, let's say Washington wanted to really get there, trade down 2 spots, recoup a 3rd. That was at number 6. That was a bit of a there was a lot of surprise when Mo Seider went. I remember. There was a lot of surprise when other players have gone in the first round. But this is the most surprising, probably top 5, top 6, top 7 pick, top 10 pick, whatever, in quite a while. Simashev for the Coyotes. Now, will Michkov go to the Flyers?
Jason, or Chuck, anything quickly before we get to this podium?
I think the pick is probably in here, so
Danny Briere.
I'm sure. We got nothing but 5 hours in this show. We got plenty of time. Daniel Briere is on the podium, or about to take the podium, as the Philadelphia Flyers again are on the pick here, 26th in the NHL. Let's see what they do.
The Philadelphia Flyers would like to thank the.
Okay, thank you everyone. Thank you for hospitality. Congratulations to Vegas.
Very good time. It's going to get more fun. I would like to thank David Boyle. He was my general manager with the Washington Capitals. Drafted me in 1988 in the 7th round.
Well, how about that?
He got a lot better after that pick. Danny?
It's got to be Michkov. It has to be. They really wanted him. He dropped. They didn't have to give anything up. Here we go.
7th selection of the draft. The Flyers are proud to select from St. Petersburg in KHL, Matvei Michkov.
Yes, sir. That is the right selection right there. And that is a great spot to get him.
So that's one of the big storylines that's going to get this draft.
Huge pick for the Philadelphia Flyers organization. Derek in the Discord server must be jumping from the rooftops. Shouting from the rooftops, jumping for joy. Michkov goes number 7. He is a Flyer. Ovi to the Capitals. Michkov to the Flyers. The Penguins just have to deal with another elite Russian sniper. 9 goals, 20 points in the KHL. Let's pull up the numbers here on Michkov. And you don't have to trade up either. Tons of value in that. 18 years of age. He'll turn 19 in December. 3 years in the KHL, technically. He's played in the KHL, in 2 separate seasons on 3 separate teams. Wasn't looking great in Sochi, I guess, and they went to St. Petersburg. I don't know all the politics of the KHL, but in 3 games he didn't do anything there. But 20 points in 27 games with Sochi, 9 goals, 11 assists, 20 points. Ovi fuming. Metro, stop getting franchise player challenge. Mishkov, so many good things I can say about him. It is true there's always going to be risk. I don't think there's a ton of risk in, is he going to come to the NHL? But it is risky in terms of there's such a high ceiling. But what is his floor? Great puck skills, good intelligence, a very creative player, creates space, kind of like Connor Bedard, drawing players into himself. He's aggressive. He's confident. He was on a bad team with Sochi.
Oh, absolutely. This guy's
Time to do the Mishkov simulation in Philly, huh? I got to do a couple sims. I think Reinbacher's number 1, Mishkov's number 2 right now in terms of simulations that I got to do.
looking for top-end talent for a long time. This is the guy.
One quote from The Athletic, Corey Pronman had said that Mishkov is one of the most creative and intelligent offensive players I've seen in the last few years. Incredible puck skills and a true elite goal-scoring instinct. Has to use his teammates more, has to be better defensively, better back-checking, better strength, of course. But he has the stick handling, he has the elusiveness, he has the shot and the scoring ability. He has the creativity as well. Yeah. True, fair enough. Smash the like. Thanks, Joseph. Smash that like button if you're enjoying the live stream. Appreciate you being here. And of course, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Continued breaking news and analysis in the off season here in the NHL, with free agency around the corner and more trades to come your way.
It's going to be from the hash. It's going to be in high danger areas. That's what's key to me. Skilled guys who go to the
International career. With Russia, he has scored 23 goals and 32 points in 14 games with Russia in his international career. He's been a plus 12 as well. Now the Caps on the board.
His numbers are unbelievable.
You would think at this point it would probably be Ryan Leonard, who was thought by some to be a top 5 guy, drops now to number 8. You would think Ryan Leonard is the guy to go. I wouldn't be surprised if we see something like a Zach Benson, but I think you got to go for the centerman. I think that's what the Capitals need. I know they have Hendrix Lapierre in the system, Connor McMichael, guys like that, but I think Ryan Leonard being added would not be a bad idea at all. I think they're definitely going for a forward here, I think. Where did the Hawks get 19? Hawks got 19 from... Give me a second. I'll pull that up for you. I like it. It's too bad that we couldn't get Michkov, but I like it. I like Reinbacher. Mark. At 19, that was in the Tampa Bay Brandon Hagel trade in March of 2022. It's Tampa Bay's first-round pick that the Blackhawks have here. Then throw in Michkov to the group of Tyson Forster, Cutter Gauthier. You just need a franchise centerman there in Philly. You just need a franchise centerman. You would think. I would think probably. I said Benson. I think it's probably going to be Dvorsky or Leonard. I lean Leonard, but I think Dvorsky could be in here as well. I don't think he can keep falling much further than this. I don't think this is like, wow, he's falling like crazy. I think this is the spot where we say, okay, this is where he goes. I think that this is where he has to go.
Whatever it may be, you're certainly going to bring them involved. But in this case, again, this is a franchise that's made it known they're going to take a step back. They're going to rebuild a bit here, so that certainly fits.
Pick is in, and
but
the Caps are moving up.
The manager has to make that call.
And it might be a bit of a heavy heart for Matt Mitchell. Remember, his father, Andre, was murdered in April in Russia. So,
crazy story.
Imagine what's going through his head right now. A very human side to this as well. So, that's Philadelphia.
Ryan Leonard, 94 points, 51 goals in 57 games with the U.S. National U18 development program.
8th spot with their GM, Brian McClellan. And again, they missed the playoffs for the first time in 9 years. And a lot of speculation was that Mitch Propp would end up in Washington because of their history with Russian players, including, of course, Alexander Ovechkin. That's not the case. So what does that mean for Washington now, gentlemen?
No picks being traded around just yet, eh? We're still here in the top 8.
I'm anticipating some grit and scoring potentially coming off the board here, and they should be dancing a jig when they get up to the stage here because they're going to get a really, really good player.
It's kind of interesting how the board shakes down. When you see a surprise like Simishev that shakes the board up.
Yeah, that's very true. A surprise like Simishev comes in, and that shakes things up.
I think this guy was going to be available.
Well, here we are with the 8th pick. We see the commissioners ready to go as well as Brian McClellan and the Washington Capitals with pick 8.
The Washington Capitals would like to acknowledge David Poyle's longtime contribution to our organization.
Thank you, Mr. David Poyle.
And congratulate him on an outstanding career.
Thank you, Nashville, for your hospitality. Oh,
Washington
thank you.
Ryan Leonard from the
Yeah,
US.
very well done. Very well done. Great pick right there. Great pick for the Washington Capitals. Ryan Leonard. Let's get the numbers on Ryan Leonard. Very good selection. Oops, wrong guy.
Maybe someone with some grit. Ryan Leonard fits the bill, doesn't he?
Again, wrong guy. How many Ryan Leonards are there out here? Ryan Leonard, 20 points in 17 games, and then 15 points in 33 games the year prior. 8th overall to the Washington Capitals. But those aren't his only numbers. He, with the U18 National Team Development Program, he had 94 points in 2022-23. He drives the line. He's a strong skater. He uses the body. He has good scoring instincts as well. But I was reading that he doesn't have the highest scoring ceiling for 2023 prospects. I don't think that that's the craziest risk to be taking. Yeah, Derek's probably going nuts, eh? I like him a lot.
He was going to be after the special moment. That's an NHL player sitting there. John is 7 years older than
High energy guy. A lot of quotes I read on him said high energy, highly energetic, makes his own space. That's what Washington's going to want. Has a good two-way game as well.
All the time being welcomed by his brother John. So
I'm not sure what these stats in Hockey DB are, as his actual stats were very different. I guess it's just showing a different league, I guess. I don't know.
And another U.S. developmental player. Chuck, can you put into words? It used to be CHL or bust many years ago. That's not the case now. It's a much more international global.
Now, will Detroit pick at 9, or are they looking to use that pick in an Alex DeBrincat trade? That'll be interesting to see. Who would Vancouver take at 11? I know they just got Philip Hronek on the blue line there, and who else, like Jet Wu in their system. I would think that they go, if Axel Sandin Palika is there, I think he goes at 11 to Vancouver. Benson going 13th, calling it now. All right, Landon. Dan, the Caps fan, he's excited for that. Top line NHL scoring forward, projected to be. He's a threat off the rush. He's as a playmaker or a shooter, and he tracks back to assist defensively. Ryan Leonard, very, very, maybe not, I wouldn't use the word underrated, but I think, as I said before, like kind of like a subtle excitement around a guy like him. Yeah, you don't see that around the NHL too much, as they're saying here on Sportsnet. 57 games for the National Team Development Program, 51 goals, 94 points in 57 games.
Somewhere in between all of that, play mean, play with skill, win game.
All right, let's send you down to the floor with Elliot Friedman.
Bucket of Ryan Leonard's come on by. There, if there were any doubts, they were over. What did you see from him?
So the Wings are on the clock now. Are they using that pick, or are they going to look to trade it to the Senators in a DeBrincat deal?
You knew going into this draft, everybody was talking about Washington and Mishkov. Did you see it playing out this way?
No, we didn't.
You know what? I'm going to take a second to mute the television. I want to read something from one of our viewers, one of the channel legends in the Discord server. Derek, big Flyers fan. He wrote a little bit of a report on each prospect. And here's what he said about David Reinbacher, who we had ranked number 8. Shades of Moritz Seider and shades of Charlie McAvoy. Reinbacher does everything you could want out of a defenseman except score a ton of points. There are a ton of high-end NHL defensemen who look like that, from Matthias Ekholm to Miro Heiskanen to more unsung names like Brett Pesce or even Jonas Brodin. I decided to go with 2 who bring an extra element, though. Seider and McAvoy both don't simply defend. They smash you with all the aggression of a hammer and lay you out on open ice. They don't opt for poke checks when death by crushing hit is an option. Reinbacher is much the same way. He doesn't just defend people. He smashes people whenever he gets the opportunity, and he doesn't allow his aggression to come in the way of actually playing sound defense. He is a play killer in the truest sense of the term. The passing is the weakest part of his profile besides the offensive creation. I like it a lot still because I see a clear development path. There aren't new concepts to be learned with him. It's mostly a question of application. That's the most common that's the most common kind of player development. So I expect him to be a well above average passer in the NHL. With those 2 elements, he projects as a top of the lineup defenseman who can dominate 5-on-5 play. Just draft some forwards who are good at offense and watch them cook with Reinbacher on the ice to accompany them. He won't drive play offensively like a Quinn Hughes or a Cale Makar, but he doesn't need to if he can control the run of play when he's on the ice. Derek, buddy, thank you for sharing those words. I think that's a great description. Sorry, I'm just reading Dave Pagnotta here tweeting that the Blues have had a lot of activity at their table. They have picks 13, 25, and 29, so they could be thinking about a move absolutely. The Red Wings are now moving up to make their pick, and they will be selecting.
A lot of nice pieces are in place, and they're hoping to have a big one here at number 9. Let's hear what Steve Eiserman.
Stevie, let's see what he has to say. You would think the highest rated players right now, just according to best player available, would be like a Dvorsky or a Benson, but let's see what happens. You know that Eiserman loves to go off the board, so I wouldn't be surprised.
On a tremendous career. Also, I'd like to congratulate the Vegas Golden Knights on a Stanley Cup championship. With the 9th pick in the draft, the Red Wings select from the Brandon Wheat Kings center Nate Danielson.
Oh, wow. Wow, Danielson, who was, I think most people had him towards the end of the first round. Nate Danielson going 9th to the Detroit Red Wings. That's not a huge surprise, but he's definitely at least 10 spots earlier than I think most people had him. Nate Danielson off to the Detroit Red Wings, which leaves the Blues with great options at number 10. Wow. They love using that word, cerebral. He's so cerebral. I don't know, hard to call it a Stevie YL when Stevie does all those crazy things. 78 points in 68 games for Nate Danielson, who's going to be turning 19 in September. 33 goals, 78 points in 68 games. Definitely a bit off the board, but I still like it for the Red Wings. EP Ringside had Danielson at 26. Yeah, and the consensus list that I was looking at that had the average pretty much of every respectable list you could find had Nate Danielson, let's see, at 16. So I think that's probably more where more people thought he was going to go at 16, probably in the mid-teens. But he goes here at number 9, leaving Benson, Dvorsky, Moore, Pelika, Wood, Barlow, Perreault. So many more good players still out here. And the Blues will be very pleased to see a couple of surprises with guys like Sivashev and Danielson going in the top 10. That leaves a very good option for St. Louis at number 10. Average to above average in all of the tool estimations. Very good. I think that makes sense for Nate Danielson. They're saying second unit power play, first unit penalty kill kind of guy.
He's a middle of the lineup guy, a glue guy, if you will.
Middle of the lineup kind of guy. He sounds like he's going to be like a very good second-line center, if I had to say. Good on the rush, good on zone entries, good on slot passes. All very important things.
And there's still a lot of what you guys would call high-end picks on the board.
Yeah, high-end picks.
The surprise for me at Simishev, there's no doubt about it. He shook up the ball right away. We knew this
Yeah.
and felt pretty comfortable that he would enter the conversation.
Simishev, wow. I'm not just shocked about Simishev going high, but going at number 6. St. Louis getting a lot of boos now. Nate Danielson, he's fast, he's intelligent, no obvious flaws in his game according to hockey writers. I had looked this up earlier. I have a bunch of random quotes that I copy and pasted. What they said as well, because of the number of high-end centers available, it's unlikely that Danielson would sneak into the top half of the first round. But despite that, he goes number 9. If you're at the top half, he goes in the top 10. Some quotes on him. He's a player that can make perfect passes in tight areas and uses his speed to get around opposing defensemen. He's pro-size. He's hardworking. He has good back-checking and transition play. Has to be a bit more aggressive and consistent, supposedly. But I trust in Stevie Y. I'm not a Red Wings fan, but I would trust in Stevie Y. Danielson now being interviewed.
Like I said, I've been dreaming ever since I was a little kid, and to have it actually happen, I mean, it's just a ton of emotions right now.
Who do you think of today?
I mean, a lot of people, obviously my family, my mom, my dad, my brother. I mean, they've all been amazing. And then I go over all my other family, just people back in Brandon, coaches, all the staff there. So a ton of people to thank.
You from the insiders.
Congratulations and enjoy this moment.
Yeah, thank you very much.
David?
Red Deer, one of Canada's great hockey towns. Nate Danielson, a member of the Red Wings. Look at Connor Bedard, maybe signing his entry-level contract.
All right, going to commercial break here on Sportsnet. See, look at Mishkov. He expects to be in the NHL quite soon. Interesting. Give that a little like. Very interesting. Do you think we see a trade? Maybe not for pick 10, but you know what? Actually, because I think the Blues want to make this pick. They have 2 more picks that they can play with, but there are going to definitely be teams calling saying, ooh, boy, that guy that I thought was going at 7, he's now available at 10. I'm willing to make a deal with you, St. Louis. So I could see something happening. This is the most likely spot for a trade to happen since probably number 9. And that was just 1 pick ago. I think 9 and 10 were both big trade candidates. Data on ESPN, instead of a break, it's all interviews with GMs and players. Amazing. We don't get that over on Sportsnet. So look at that. Arizona and Detroit should have both traded back. Maybe. Again, you wait a few years down the road and you say, wow, it looks like that was the right spot to take him, kind of like the Moritz Seiders of the world. But you can't always know what other people are going to do, right? You got to trust what Stevie Y says. Trust the Iser plan. Stevie. But a lot of talk around the Blues table as they have picks 10, 25, and 29. And a lot of people interested with what the Blues have to offer at number 10 and what player that could mean. With, once again, Zach Benson, Dalibor Dvorsky, Oliver Moore, Axel Sandin Pelika, Matthew Wood, Colby Barlow, Gabe Perreault, Edward Sale, Edward Saleh, I keep forgetting how to pronounce his name, Andrew Crystal, Callum Ritchie. I don't think those are guys that are going to go quite up here, those last names. But guys, especially Benson, Dvorsky, those are 2 that a team would love to get at number 10 when many people had them going number probably 6, 7, 8. The pick is in, and the Blues are going to be making it. No trade happening here. The St. Louis Blues will select at pick number 10. Right here, Derek says, potential trend tonight. This has been called one of the deepest first rounds in a long time. Craig Button said the consensus was after the top 4 or 5, the difference players would go from 6 to 25 or even more. Could be valued very similarly. The rest of the first round could look like chaos to us, but who knows until 4 or 5 years from now. The only sure thing seems to be the top 3. That's true, Derek.
You know he's not happy to be in this position, but he's here, and it starts now.
All right, well, Doug Armstrong and the Blues won the Stanley Cup back in 2019.
The Canucks and the Sabres are having a discussion right now on the draft floor. Here we go. Dvorsky, thank you for making your pick right away. No respect for Nashville, I suppose. Dalibor Dvorsky goes number 10 to the Blues. The Canucks and the Sabres have been having discussions, maybe a little swap from 11 to 13. But Dalibor Dvorsky, who many people had going top 5 a few months ago, and I think many people had going top 7, top 8, now drops to number 10 just a little bit. and Dvorsky goes to the Blues. I like this pick very much for the Blues, and I'm glad they made it as well. Thank you, Jack. I did check that message. That's where I read it from. Now the Canucks, do they trade back with the Sabres who want to trade up maybe and get a guy like Benson? Or do the Canucks make that selection? I thought they'd get Axel Sandin Pellikka, but with a guy like Benson still on the board, that's a tough one. Let's go ahead and pull up the numbers as always. I don't have all the numbers memorized on all the players. Of course, let me pull it up elsewhere. Dalibor Dvorsky.
With the offense, the numbers really aren't that sexy. However, when you get back with the peer group and you look at the under 18, watching him at the World Juniors where he's still an underager, really impressive stuff.
All right, Dalibor Dvorsky, 14 points in 38 games in Sweden's first league. Playing with the AIK juniors, he was at 2 points per game at 21 and 10. And then the year prior in that same league had 20 goals, 20 assists, 40 points in 33 games. So Dvorsky has that ability, but I don't think scoring is his hallmark. He is young. Yeah, he's young. Dvorsky just turned 18 like a couple of weeks ago.
From a stealth perspective, a couple things that stand out for me. Really quick catch and release. So
Good point here. Yeah, I could see that happening, Landon. I could see that happening. Yeah, it's true. He just barely qualified for the draft, and he goes top 10.
He dragged his team at the Under-18 World Championships into the fight. And let me tell you, the Slovaks, they are on the rise. They're a competitive group. They're doing a fantastic job over there. Another great day for their nation.
Yeah, last year was all about the Slovaks going 1 in.
That's true. The Slovaks just keep getting better, eh?
And here you have number 10, Dvorsky, going to St. Louis. Again, the first of 3 picks for the St. Louis Blues, who missed the playoffs for just the second time in 12 years. So, Jason, you're giving us a little bit.
So Dvorsky, he drives the play offensively and competes in the trenches. Quick release and ability to score from distance, and very good on the dots. He was over 57% on faceoffs. That's very valuable right there. EP Ringside had him at number 11, comparable to Horvat and Lindholm. Very good. Excellent center, great shot, good defensive instincts, more of a two-way force.
As he comes to the middle of the ice. Hey, inside out, just headed to, gets to the middle, boom, the puck's in the net.
And I love this picture of him with Marion Gaborik.
Creative offensive player. I love always looking at the quotes from the scouts. He's always calling for the puck and for his teammates, no matter if he's in the junior league or in the main Swedish league, the SHL, or if he's representing Slovakia. He doesn't care. He's always looking to be in the play. He's a versatile forward with hands and offensive smartness. Let's see what he has to say with the Blues.
I'm extremely happy, obviously.
Yeah, what was it like? Can you put it into words what it was like hearing your name called by St. Louis?
I mean, it's tough to say. It was unbelievable. I've been working hard for this moment, but the work starts now. So I'm just extremely excited to be part of the Blues organization.
And so much work has gone into it, not just from you, but by friends and family. Who are you thinking of in this moment?
Well, obviously my parents. Without them, I would never be here. And all my coaches, teammates, everyone who helped me to get to this moment, I would like to thank them.
Well, congratulations and have fun tonight. David?
All right, we are awaiting the Vancouver Canucks with the 11th pick. Their GM Patrick Alvin. So many options, so many decisions.
Yeah, the Canucks are letting the clock run down here. Most teams are doing it at round 2.5 minutes. The pick is in. Minute and a half to go. Jim Benning still talking with Alvin. It's their highest pick since picking 10th in 2019 with Podkolzin.
Here they get an opportunity to pick number 11. I'm pretty fascinated to see. But now is when I start to think that we're going to see a run of a couple of defensemen.
It looks like they're making the pick. They're getting the jersey. They're moving up.
And Tom Willander, I think we're going to start to see that run of defensemen begin right now with those other two.
Something that I'm going to be watching for now, guys, because of how the draft is starting to shake out, a few picks that were a little bit higher than we projected them to be. I'm interested to see the first team that starts to trade back to start to pick up extra assets because they've got 3, 4, maybe 5 guys on their
Are we thinking Sandin Pellikka? Another Swiss player in Vancouver? That's who I thought originally.
In the sense of the expectations from the fan base are, we want to win now. How do you temper that if you're a GM and you go, I have to take the best guy, even though I might get a project 3 years down the road?
Yeah, I think that's what Patrick Alvin's trying to do. They're obviously made some trades to stay competitive, but he kept his pick last year with Lekker-Maki, and he's going to get a good player right here. So you're trying to make sure you have enough good assets in the system, and you're trying to take advantage of some of the good players you have, like Pedersen and Hughes and JT Miller. So this is a great draft. This is going to be a good pick for him.
Do they go Zach Benson here? I don't know. Zach Benson ranked as the 5th best offensive forward by elite prospects. That's what Vancouver has to say. Patrick Alvin.
Vancouver Canucks are proud to select from Rögle, Swedish Junior League, Tom Welinder.
Whoa, Wallinder. Oh, wow, that's off the board a little bit. Is it his first name first? Is it Tim? His name? Tom?
This has to be an incredibly exciting moment for Tom Welinder.
Tom. Sorry.
Because of the Sedins, and here he is.
Tom Wallinder. Come on.
Putting on that same Canucks sweater, whether it's next year or a year after that.
Wallinder goes number 11 to the Canucks, off the board for sure in terms of who you would think. Nice pick though. I say off the board. Off the board means like not I thought in this range, and the range is probably like your pick plus or minus 3 or 4.
Swedish players, they stay in the SHL, maybe they're going to play in the Allsvenskan, hang out there for a couple of years, fulfill some contract. Not this guy. He's coming over to play college hockey. And
2023 U18 World Championship with 3 goals.
He's focused on the plan. He's not deviating from the plan, and you can see it. He's serious.
This is what's interesting here. You mentioned going to college. He's committed to Boston University.
Will do. Thanks. Appreciate that, Joseph. Now the Coyotes, who picked a bit of a surprise at number 6, they could get like Benson at 12, and you could almost switch those picks. Benson at 6, Simashev at 12. Ringside had him at 23, but Andrew Dunn, Mr. Dunn, had him as the 3rd best defenseman available.
You thought about being serious as a heart attack? I told him, I said, when you get to BU, you're going to have to play BC in the same conference. That big line comer for the U.S. national team program, he just stands up and combine, looks in the eyes and goes, just come watch the games. Kind of cocky confident. Hey, listen, he's a lot like Axel Sandy and Pellica, a little bit.
I was then we'll take Benson, and then they can say they should have. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying there.
Real great skater.
How much do you want to see confidence from? Like, you could have got borderline confidence, but not over the top. When you're interviewing these guys at the combine, etc.
You really want to see it. You know, the combine's one thing, but you want to see that confidence on the ice, the way they play. And this guy does a great daps, and he's very assertive. He moves the puck well, and really good two-way defenseman, and pretty good size.
Hey, Javier, long time no see, buddy.
Here we go. Let's talk about mobility. So,
Transitional two-way defenseman with added offense. Not a physical player, but he's not shy about battling. Deceptive and confident when making plays. A middle pair defenseman they have him projected as. Playing in the junior league of Sweden, he scored 25 points in 39 games. I think I was incorrectly calling the Czech league the Swedish league for Dvorsky. By the way, I think I just caught myself on that one. Apologies if that was the case. I think I did do that. Connor, welcome to the stream, my friend. Thank you for joining us.
Let's get you back down to the floor. We'll hear from Tom.
The Coyotes are up next. Now Wallinder being interviewed.
A Canucks fan, idolizing the Sedins.
He grew up a Canucks fan. Love the Sedins. There you go.
That's amazing. From being very small, I always looked up to this team. Just seeing the logo up on the screen just made me nostalgic. To be honest, so it's a big honor. Big honor.
Tell us all as a kid how a trip to Tampa kind of created this dream.
Well, it was all about, going over there to vacation really, but, being able to see NHL for the first time, up close, got to see it right at the ring. So that's kind of where, sparked the switch in me, So.
And in your words, what kind of player and person are the Canucks getting?
I'd say they're getting a person who really wants to make change. I'm a driven person, and I really want to make this a great decision for the Vancouver Canucks.
Well, Tom, congratulations.
Good size, good skating, ability to push the pace with the puck. He's quick, he's powerful.
This year, this is a little run right now. Let's get you back on the floor, Elliott.
And he looked very good with Sweden at the U18 World Champions, where he shared the spotlight with Axel Sandin Palika. Yes, that's true. In the gold medal game, he played 30 minutes of ice time. My goodness. In a 62-minute game, he played 30 minutes of ice time. Wallinder. Oh, Willander. You got me. I'm thinking of Wallinder, the other prospect. Willander. My apologies. Thank you for catching that. I wouldn't have caught that the whole night, probably. There were some discussions, as Alvin says. Javier, ¿qué pasa? Been busy with life. Nice to hear from you again, Bello. Nice to hear from you, Javier. ¿Cómo estás, mi amigo? Wild draft. Connor, a Leafs fan. You're picking at 28, my friend. We'll see what happens between now and then. This draft has been a hoot and a holler so far. Thank you for those of you who corrected me on the Willander. Not Wallinder, it's Willander.
I'm just hoping the team paid for him. I like that.
All right, well, for the second time today,
Do I still have it wrong? Oh my goodness, it's Willander. Oh, so I didn't. Okay, I just mixed up. It's not that I had totally misspelled this. I swapped the I and the A. Willander.
We talked about the depth of this draft. I'd love to be in a position where I'm picking 6 and 12 of the 8 teams with quality picks, the 2 highest here, beginning at 6 and now here.
So the Coyotes are making their second selection. They pick 6 and now 12. Do they go Benson and try to just say, it's like we took him at 6, we took Simashev at 12?
The Arizona Coyotes are proud to select from Yaroslav
Oh.
Daniel Boot.
Oh, wow! Boot! Well, many people weren't even sure if he'd stay in the first round. A lot of people said maybe the Canadians with their second-round pick, maybe the Blackhawks with their second-round pick. Daniel Boot goes 12 to the Coyotes. That's a surprise right there. That is a surprise. Many people thought that we weren't even sure if he was going to be a first rounder. A lot of people said maybe a team takes a chance on him in the first round, but he goes number 12. The Coyotes go off the board twice with Simashev and Boot, 2 players they could have gotten in the 20s probably. They should have traded with St. Louis for 25 and 29. And now Benson to Buffalo could very well happen.
Into uniform. And so this situation, they're obviously very confident with what they have in terms of scouting and rushing and the ability to get those.
Arizona trying to lose its 36 fans. Boot had 2 points in 15 KHL games, tied for most among U18 players, though. Jeez Louise, Arizona. Maybe a trade like that? Maybe. But I don't think it would fit what the Jets are doing right now. Could you kindly send Gallagher to the LA Kings? That would be great, Javier. I think that would work out for both teams. I love Gallagher. I love Gallagher. But I think I don't know if Gallagher gives as much to the Kings as he would to the Kings. But you know what? They did get size here. Arizona gets a 6'4" defenseman and a 6'5" right winger. You got to give it to them there.
So they can take the time if they really believe these are the 2 best kids and Simashev and Boot.
Here's the takeaway from this. First of all, comparable. For people up there who don't know this player, like Dave.
Zero trades so far, yeah.
For some of you elite fans, Nick Antropov. He's somewhere in between those 2. Right
Daniil
now.
Boot, the hockey writers had him ranked 42nd on the consensus ranking list that has like Bob McKenzie, Greg Button, elite prospects, hockey prospects. They had Daniil Boot at 28, but he goes here at number 12. The Penguins are going to love their pick as well at 14, but the Sabres are eating it up here too.
So all sorts of question marks surrounding the Arizona Coyotes and their future in the desert, and maybe some question marks surrounding, at least from you gentlemen, the picks they're making today. Talented player could be selected earlier than they need.
I had him in the first round. I had him going 21st. So there's no doubt when you watch the tape of this player, you're wild when he brings to the table.
A lot of reports call him a polarizing player. Some see him top 10. Craig Button had him as a mid-second round pick in March. I know that. I'm not sure where his final ranking had him. One of the larger players in the whole draft, of course. He just turned 18 in February, so he'll turn 19 in February of 2024. And he's already 6'5". That's the size that GMs dream of, right? Boy, he had 44 points in 49 games in the MHL, the KHL's junior league. sorry, no, those weren't his final stats. I'm looking back at an older report. Let's pull up his numbers actually while we're here. All right, they're in a commercial here. Daniil Booth, he went point per game in the Russian MHL. 15 goals, 26 points in 26 games, but it can't be. I was reading different numbers with Yaroslav Loko Jr., but Yaroslav Lokomotiv in the KHL, he played 15 games, 2 minor penalties, 2 goals. Where am I looking, though? I was reading on Hockey Writers. Hockey Writers said that he had 44 points in the MHL. There must be some sort of I'm looking in the wrong. Hockey DB just must not have it. That must be it. But regardless, point per game kind of guy. He has that offensive ability. 6'5", 203 already. We're kind of like one of those EA franchise mode power forwards with good shooting. 15 goals as a power forward. Great shooting out of the draft. And look at that for the Coyotes, leaving a lot of good players still on the board for the Sabres, for the Penguins. We have most notably Zach Benson, who was ranked number 6 by the consensus rankings when you take McKenzie and Button, Hockey Prospect, Pronman, Wheeler, Sportsnet with Jason Bukala, Ryan Kennedy of the Hockey News. You put those all together and you get Zach Benson at number 6. He's still on the board here at number 13. You have Oliver Moore at number 9, Axel Sandin Plika at number 10, Matthew Wood at 12, Colby Barlow at 13, and we're still looking at number 13 and saying a guy like Benson is available for the Sabres, who they've gotten lucky the last few years in terms of good players dropping to them. Jack Quinn dropping to them was good luck. Matthew Savoie dropping to them was good luck. Now, if they could take Zach Benson, that is good luck again. Very, very good luck for the Buffalo Sabres if they can go out and select Zach Benson right here. But do they do it? A little commercial break here on Sportsnet. Take a moment, leave a like if you haven't done it already. Be sure to subscribe as well for all the breaking news and analysis of the NHL offseason and a lot more on the channel as well. Career simulations for these players are coming your way in the next weeks and months of the summer. So we'll get career simulations. Last summer we did I think we did all the top 10 players. Could it be? This offseason I'll try and do as much as possible again. That's true. Penguins acquired Riley Smith. That's the one deal so far today, technically. Talking about Daniil Boots here.
Our second one is Daniel Bowden. Just a big man with skill.
Big man with skill, they say.
He plays, he can score. His dad was actually drafted in the NHL, never got a chance to come over here. So we're really excited about both those players. For us, they were on that board, and we wanted to make sure, as an organization, we took the 2 best guys off that board. And,
2 best guys? I don't know. Whatever you say, my friend. We'll see.
Sabres are proud to select from Winnipeg in the Western Hockey League.
Yes, sir. Good luck for the Sabres. Zach Benson on his way to Buffalo. A great selection that should have Buffalo fans jumping with joy and shouting from the rooftops. Zach Benson to the Buffalo Sabres. Great prospect that many people had going within the top 7, top 8, top 10. Love this guy. Called it. Landon, you called it. The rich get richer. As now the Sabres have Quinn drop to them. They have Savoie drop to them. And now Zachary Benson drops to them. 98 points in 60 games in WHL this last season. 63 and 58 the season prior. And 20 and 24 in 2021 when he was even younger. He just turned 18 last month. Plays with passion. Goes to hard areas. Had 7 points with Team Canada at the Hlinka Gretzky Cup.
And on many nights, playing with first-rounders Matthew Savoie and Connor Geekie, he might have been the best player on a lot of nights. On a team full of rock stars, he was able to carve out his own ice as a younger player. Love him.
EP Ringside had him number 5. The consensus rankings that I'm using has him at number 6 as well. And he goes at number 13.
Yeah, well, anybody, like Sammy says, who can rock the mullet from the CHL top prospect all the way to the awesome. Anyways, listen, exceptional skill. But this guy here, he's not a darter on straight lines necessarily through the neutral zone.
Elite passer, incredible vision,
So that makes him a little bit more difficult to play with.
He's a motor without an off switch. Engaged in the defensive zone, moving to wherever the puck is, intense, competitive, all the things that Buffalo will love, especially at 13th overall. Dexter with a $10 donation. Dexter, buddy, much love, much appreciation to you. Thank you for all the hard work going into these streams recently. It means a lot. Thanks a lot. Oliver Moore falling as well. He's the next guy that we're looking at now. Oliver Moore's the next guy to say, wow, this guy's dropping. Thank you, Dexter. You're a certified fellow, but we already knew that. Pittsburgh could go in a lot of directions here. Yes, they could. Barlow, Perreault, Moore, a lot of good guys that Pittsburgh could take right here. They already got Riley Smith for a third-round pick today. They are winners today no matter what, but I think they're going to get a great pick here as well. Yeah, you're right, Javier. Good points as well. Small guy, but he can pack on a lot more still. Here, I'm talking with him right now. Hey, Kaylee, welcome to the stream. Thank you for joining us.
It's pretty surreal, and I'm so stoked to be a Buffalo Sabre.
You grew up spending your summers traveling city to city, town to town in Western Canada with your family's carnival business. What did your
carnival business? Wow.
Yeah, it takes a lot of hard work. Just watching my grandpa and dad, you know what they do every day. It's a lot of hard work, and you know, they're definitely an inspiration in my life.
Okay, you're ready to put the hard hat on for the Buffalo Sabres. Just lastly, you have friends over my shoulder and family. Do you want to say hi?
Yeah, absolutely. What's up, guys? What's up, Yager?
Congratulations and have fun tonight.
Awesome, thank you.
Awesome, thank you. Look at that hair.
Let's have some fun for a few minutes here.
Impressive talent with top-line NHL scoring ability, trusted to be used in all situations, and his compete has been consistent. As I said, a guy that just does not have an off switch. He is just constant, consistently constant. And Joseph with the Pittsburgh Penguins franchise hype drops the $4.99 donation as well. That's now our third donation of the evening. Joseph, I forget if you've given one before. I think you have, but if you're in the Discord server and you don't have the special role, I'll be sure to add that to you. Let me know. Connor's liking the franchise and the Sporkle vids. Thanks, Connor. Appreciate you saying that. And Joseph, again, very kind of you to drop the donation. Thank you for your viewership first and foremost. Penguins franchise. It may take a little bit of a backseat for a few days here with free agency around the corner and career simulations that they have to be simulated. I'm going to let the votes in the chat go. Let me know before the end of the night, which simulation do you want to see first? I would think that the first one is, there's a lot of Habs fans on the channel, probably Reinbacher's the first simulation. After that, probably Mitchkov on the Flyers. And then from there, maybe Carlson, Fantilli. I'd like to do a few of those this offseason. I want to do a bunch. I'm going to be gone for a few weeks in July. I got to put a channel update out. I'll be gone for a few weeks in July, so putting those to upload when I'm gone would be a good idea. Kyle Dubas is up, and he's making the pick. GM Data is stepping up to the podium.
This is a weird spot for them, guys. They've gone, 16 straight years making the playoffs, and I'm used to picking this on.
Well, it's a situation for me where does Kyle Dubas come in and draft the sort of player that he drafted with Toronto, or does he rely on...
Do we go for an Oliver Moore right here? I think we go Axel Sandin Palika. Who's on that left side? Ty Smith and P.O. Joseph? I think Axel Sandin Palika at 14 is a great selection.
On behalf of our organization, we'd first
Thanks,
like to
Dexter. Appreciate you.
The great career of Nashville Predators general manager David Boyle. Not only a great general manager, so great for hockey, but a great mentor to young general managers getting into the game. Thank you, David. With the 14th selection in the 2023 NHL Entry Draft, the Pittsburgh Penguins are proud to select from the Moose Jaw Warriors, Braden Yeager.
Oh! He's watching the franchise mode! He's watching the franchise mode! Yeager, let's go! Woo! Braden Yeager, all caps, baby! Goes to the Pittsburgh Penguins! GM Data called it! GM Data called it! GM Data called it, baby! Yeager to the Penguins. Woo! Wow. That's something. Kyle, buddy, if you're watching, Let's work together, my friend. Let's work together. Woo. That was me at the podium. That was me at the podium. Jaeger staying in all caps. He's staying in all caps. Franchise legend Owen Pickering is there as well. Forgot about that. Yeah, that's true. I forgot about that. You know what? The left side is full then. I forgot about Pickering, I have to admit. The left side's full. Made sense. Jaeger, let's go. Jack didn't like that one. EP ringside had Jaeger at 22. The consensus list that I was looking at had Jaeger at 19.
This is a little bit of a compromise.
No, Dubas is the president of Hockey Ops. That's it. You gotta watch the franchise mode. You gotta go. You gotta do it, Kaylee. You have to. All because Jack wanted Jaeger. That's why. No, he wouldn't have been there at 21, I don't think. Very good pick. Kyle Dubas. Louis, absolument, mon ami. Il faut. It has to be. A lethal shooter, but everything else is questionable. That's fair enough. Dubas is known to refer to AGM data. Has to be. Kyle knows what he's doing. How would you even do a Mitchkov simulation? I have to add him. I'd have to add him, try to get him drafted by Philadelphia, and then make sure that his overall is low enough, but his potential is high enough that he stays in the AHL for a couple of years. It wouldn't be easy to do a Mitchkov sim, I'll admit. Oh, one of my assistant GMs. That's exactly it. You're exactly right, Derek. That's exactly it. Now the Preds are up. Fans are going nuts. So let's break it down a bit on Jaeger. I was bouncing around a little too much here. They're talking with Braden Jaeger, but yeah, let's listen to him before I start reading.
It's a dream. I mean, he's a guy that I've looked up to my whole life, and obviously the Penguins are.
I like it, Rory. I like the pick.
It's a dream. I can't even put it into words.
You also looked up to Leon Draisaitl, who you met when he visited your minor hockey team. How did that meeting help ignite this dream?
Yeah, I mean, that kind of sparked my decision to go to the WHL. Obviously, watching a guy like Leon, he's an incredible player, and inspired me to go to the WHL, and obviously. It's telling me where I am today, so I'm super happy.
As you told me, Saskatoon boy, big country fan. How are you enjoying that?
Yeah, it's unreal. I mean, we've kind of walked around downtown here, and there's tons of music going on. It's crazy atmosphere.
Got 7 likes on that one. Thanks.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
David?
All right, well, you just said the A word, atmosphere, and there's certainly a lot of atmosphere in this building right now because there's some anticipation. David Poile will be making his final selection.
David Poile making his final pick.
The Nashville Predators, he's stepping down here in spots, set to take over a very esteemed franchise.
So Braden Jaeger, 78 points in 67 games with Moose Jaw this last year. Poile's final pick as GM, yes.
I had an opportunity to work under David here for my first 5 years in the league, and he was a mentor to me. He's just a fantastic human being. This building, guys, back then, we were about 11,000, 12,000 a night. It was a slow.
Hey, Landon, I see you. I see you, Landon. So let's talk a bit more about Jaeger now that I can calm down a little bit. All right, put the volume down a little. So the thing that jumps out at you the most is Jaeger's shot and his willingness to use it. Very quick release, and he hits his target with very good accuracy. Over 60 goals in the last 2 years in the Western Hockey League. Yeah, that makes sense. And that's one of his strengths, as well as his compete level, his puck movement, even his two-way play. But there's a lot of things that need to be worked on as well. His creativity, his skating, his physicality. Is he going to be a centerman? Is he going to be a winger? But he is a reliable puck mover. He supports the puck defensively as a centerman as well when playing center. He has a good pro-style game. I'm reading some quotes from some scouts. He plays with a lot of energy, with a lot of speed. So I think that he can be turned into a good piece in Pittsburgh's development system. Now, who's going to Nashville? Best player available would probably be Moore. But now that Ekholm's gone, do you try to get someone for the future of the left D with Sandin Pellikka? I'm going to keep pushing him.
13 picks in this draft. Here, hit the ground running.
7 in the top 83.
Really impressive stuff.
Yeah, and they were trying feverishly to move up, but they don't. But here they are with the 15th pick.
Here we go, Nashville. From the University of Connecticut, Matthew Wood.
Oh, Matthew Wood. That's a good pick right there. Good pick. You know, any Wood is going to be good, especially when you think about Kyle Wood. Any Wood is someone that I'll respect in the NHL. Matthew Wood at 15th overall.
Matthew Wood from UConn and from Lethbridge, selected 15th overall. Father Jamie, mother Carrie, and a great woman for that family.
From Nanaimo, British Columbia. Had 34 points in 35 games with the University of Connecticut this past year. He played with the Victoria Grizzlies in the BCHL in 2021-22, 45 goals and 85 points in 46 games. 6'4", big size on that right wing. I thought that, they have Philip Tomasino on the right. They got Kemmel. I'm not sure if this makes sense as much for the position, but for of the prospects who are available, I like Matthew Wood here a lot for sure. There's still more Perreault, Ritchie, even Barlow, Crystal. A lot of good options for Minnesota. Don't worry, Jack. Matthew Wood. Buffalo has scouts on the Winnipeg Ice staff? Maybe, eh? The consensus ranking had Matthew Wood at number 12, and he goes here at number 15. Big guy, big size, 6'4", 193 pounds. His star was rising in the BCHL. He went over to Connecticut. He's done more good things there. Some quotes on him. Wood is one of the best pure goal scorers in the draft this year, according to Nick Richard of Dauber Prospects, I forgot how to pronounce it. The tall, rangy winger has an elite shot and a knack for scoring goals at a high rate. Extremely quick release, high-end hands, and a great IQ with the puck. Only acceleration and two-way games are things to be worked on. But great size, great shot, hands in tight, handling, IQ, and consistency are all there for Matthew Wood. Very, very attractive prospect. Sandin Pellikka not selected yet. Not selected yet. Oh, but how? I think it's just what teams are going for in terms of what they want. Only how many defensemen have gone, right? Reinbacher went 5th. Canadians weren't going to go for Sandin Pellikka there. Simashev at 6, maybe you could see it to the Coyotes. Then you have Willander at 11, and that's it. Only 3 defensemen have gone so far. It's been 12 forwards, 3D. Connor Bedard now talking at the desk. Are the Flames going to go D here? Again, I could see Sandin Pellikka going to a lot of these mid-teams. I think Detroit would be salivating to get him at 17.
It ends right now, but it started out, you were a little guy, you were impressing everyone back at the break tournament when you were 10 years old. Talk about what was so meaningful about this journey from you from the little Connor Bedard to the Chicago Blackhawks Connor Bedard.
Yeah, it's been amazing. I think that was so big this morning. I been talking to my family and the journey we've been on together. And yeah, you got some highlights there, but no, it's been so much fun. And I have such a love and passion for the game, and be able to play it every day because of my parents and family has been unbelievable.
Well, what's next for you? We're going to go through some stuff, some PR stuff, and now you get the opportunity to really go to work. Where does it go right from tomorrow on?
Yeah, I mean, obviously kind of be here tomorrow. I think I have some friends that'll kind of go here, shortly and whatnot tomorrow. So, be there for them. And
there you go. They were very kind, Glenn, and they were very kind.
Wait for it to get to the city and kind of see everything, meet everyone, and it's really exciting time.
Just wanted to get your reaction. Kyle Davidson made a big trade a couple of days ago, bringing in Taylor Hall.
That's what he says about Taylor Hall.
Who he was able to re-sign. And what are your thoughts on that? If you had a chance, probably haven't had a chance to speak to Taylor or Nick yet, but what were your thoughts on that trade?
No, it's great for sure. I mean, two guys that have had unbelievable careers so far. And, I think for me to be able to kind of learn from them and, be a bit of a sponge when they're around, of course. And,
Two guys that will help the team win games as well. So, it's really exciting for the franchise.
Hunter, such a special moment for you and your family. I know they've made so many sacrifices to get you here. You're such a humble young man. How much do you think
Humble
about your
young man.
grandfather, at this time, this special moment for you?
Yeah, I got the little chip here. I don't know if I've shown you guys if you want to see it.
Sure, I'd love to see it.
I think that's obviously tough for me. I not have been here, but let's get it out of here.
Hawks, yeah, probably best player available at 19 for sure.
Play cards and stuff, and you got him on here, so just kind of happening with me, and on this day, and I'm sure he's watching.
Life is looking down at you. He's proud. We're all proud of you, and you have a great future. Thank you so much, Hunter.
Thank you.
Nice little interview there. Nice little feel-good interview. The pick is in, and the Flames are up for pick number 16. You would think that's got to be Moore or Sandin Pellikka here. I wouldn't be shocked if it's not Sandin Pellikka, but if the Wings didn't take Sandin Pellikka at 17, I think that's when I'd be shocked.
First of all, we'd like to thank the Nashville Predators and the city of and the people of Nashville. We've had a great time this week. Thank you very much.
Hello to everyone watching back at Jimmy's Bar and Grill.
Congratulate the Vegas Golden Knights on the Stanley Cup championship.
Oh, I agree, Lucas. I had Sandin Pellikka going number 11.
There's not a general manager sitting at the table tonight, or anybody that's been a manager in this league for the last 25 years that hasn't been positively influenced by David Poile. He did his job with class and dignity and honesty, and wish him lots of success, much success in his future.
Very nice
For our
words.
first pick, I'd like to introduce our new general manager, Craig Conroy.
Greg.
I want to thank all our season ticket holders back at the draft party at the Telus Club in the Scotiabank Saddledome.
Of course.
Hope they're having a good time. With our first pick, we're going to take from the Vancouver Giants, Samuel Hanzig.
Whoa. Whoa. How do you spell this guy's name? I have no idea.
All right, more WHL luck.
It's
How do
you spell this guy's name? I'm not. I don't even. I did not spell that right. Hanzig, sorry. Hanzig. There you go. Hanzig.
Jason and I went out to Langley, BC.
Wow, bit of a surprise there. Yeah, well, a bit of a surprise. That's a big surprise. On my consensus list, I have him at number 18, yes. But I think... Well, you know what? Now that I think about it a bit more, of the centers who are available, it was him or Oliver Moore. So you know what? I was thinking about just best player available. But if I'm thinking about best center available, then Hanzig makes more sense. You know what? I take back my initial reaction. I didn't mean to disrespect you, Hanzig. I was surprised because I was thinking about best player available, but if I'm thinking best center available, it's between him and Oliver Moore right now. So I can't say I know a lot about him. I'm not going to lie, but that's for a lot of these prospects. I'm not going to pretend I'm some sort of high-end scout. Let's go ahead and look up Hanzig and his current stat. I think it has to be Sandin Pellikka to the Red Wings here at 17, the Swiss connection. That's true. He was playing in the Slovak League, 14 points in 49 games. Then with the Vancouver Giants in the WHL, he scored 56 points in 43 games. Left winger. You see, my reports have him listed as a centerman, but now it says left winger here. So maybe I'm just totally off on all this. But he is a big guy, 6'4", size, like big wingers seem to be the trend here. That's true. I'm a general manager here. EP Ringside had him at 20. The consensus list had him at 19. I think this makes sense for him to go around here, actually. I didn't mean to disrespect you. I didn't know your game. What's that meme? I apologize. I didn't know your game. That Shaq meme. I apologize. So Hanzig goes at 16. It has to be, you would think, especially if Danielson went at 9, it's not going to be more. You'd think it's Sandin Pellikka here at number 17. Comps of Tomas Hertl and Pavel Zacha. Interesting. Yeah, physical forward. The Red Wings love their Swedish players. I think it would have to be Hanzig here, right? I'm going to pull up my report here on Hanzig as the, what's it called? The Sportsnet goes to a commercial. I have so many tabs open. My computer is crying, but we're going to make it through. So Samuel Hanzig, he is 6'4". He is center / left wing, I suppose. I've seen left wing and I've seen center. He was selected 10th overall in the CHL import draft by Vancouver when he came over from the Slovak League, excuse me. He has been impressive during his time in North America so far, has great size, of course, as already mentioned. And when it comes to his strengths in his game, we, of course, have size, skating, but also wrist shot and play in traffic, while things that he has to work on are his consistency, his defensive game, and his attention to detail. So he's listed as a center, but many reports that I saw, now that I'm looking closer at my notes, say that he's likely to be a top 6 winger. Size, mobility, situational awareness, and puck handling abilities to become a strong two-way guy in the NHL after a few seasons of development. Some quotes on him. Honzek is a large winger who moves very well for his size. I don't think his pure skill will ever dazzle you, but he has enough hands and vision to make plays as a pro and provide offense. That's Corey Pronman of The Athletic. So you know what? Now I think about it a bit more, makes more sense. See y'all later, mates. Back to dad duty. Javier, thank you for joining us this evening. Hasta luego. Thank you for being here. Honzek has a high floor, low ceiling type of thing. I like that. Flame scouts picking for their jobs. That's a good way to describe that right there as well. And I missed right here. Let me go back up. Where is it? Heyo, Data. Sorry, I'm joining the stream late. Mackenzie, thank you for being here. One of our most consistent viewers here on the channel. Mackenzie Cannon, thank you for taking the time this evening. Always a pleasure to have you on board. Yeah, it would be a steal here. I think Sandin Pellikka being like in the 11 to 15 range would have been like a comfortable spot. But to say, okay, at 17, because of other players leapfrogging him for whatever reason, I think that's a very nice spot to say I'm extremely content. Not that I got him. I guess I wouldn't say steal. If you drop to the 20s, maybe that's a steal. Now it's the area of saying, wow, I am very, very happy to be getting him at this value. At 20, it's highway robbery. But I think Sandin Pellikka at this spot not only makes sense for his position, but makes sense for the organization that he would be going to. Back on.
Great run for Dallas. Had those great contracts as well with Jason Robertson at the gang, and well deserving of the Jim Gregory Award at Team of the Year. Let's get down to the floor. Craig Conroy, his first pick is on the Flames. He's with LA.
Gonna talk to him now.
First draft pick.
Craig Conroy, GM of the Flames.
You know what? Luckily, I got to see him a ton this year. The size, skills, skating, and I see some growth as the season started. But where we finished, it was a huge step. And he's when you see him, he's a great athlete. So I think
Jim Nill, GM of the Year. That's true.
On the left side is what we really looking for.
Everybody's talking about the Flames for a lot of reasons. One move yesterday, you have anything cooking as we talk tonight?
Just talking, but nothing really, nothing close right now.
Thanks very much, Craig.
Thanks, Ellie.
Few things cooking. Interesting.
He's always doing his work. Meanwhile, Adam Fantilli, congratulations to you. Great to have you here.
Fantilli now being spoken to at the panel.
You're looking good in blue, my friend.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, and you might need a pro contract pretty soon. See about 130 friends and family here. You got to pay for some of this.
Exactly.
What was that moment like, the moment your name was announced?
It was so special. I mean, I'm so grateful for all the people that took the money out of their wallets. And
I agree, Lucas. I think that's a very fair statement to make as well.
I can't thank them.
No slights to these guys, but there have been some surprises.
My parents, trainers, it was amazing.
And some that we don't understand so much.
Connor Bedard had a token of appreciation for his grandfather who had passed. Your grandmother, Mariola, how special
Not much out here,
is she to you, and what would she be thinking here?
Yeah, I'm sure she's at home having a good time, but yeah, I'm pretty upset she couldn't make it, but it's understandable given the circumstances. So,
We're all talking about Arizona here.
On the inside of my
Every NHL GM is scared to take Michkov, but then Arizona is out here reaching on Russian players.
What do you want to do next year? What will the process be? Have you been drafted by Columbus with respect to where you'll play?
I haven't yet, to be honest with you. I was kind of waiting to see what team and then talking to them and talking to people.
Agreed. The Buffalo Sabres were going to be an absolute wagon
soon. Those
Yeah.
conversations will start to happen now.
Johnny Goodrow, Patrick Black,
Agreed.
reach out yet to say welcome to the team?
I just took a quick swipe through. I saw Boone Jenner. I saw Kent Johnson. So
What did you say, lose my number? That's awesome.
Inside his vest is all the names of the people who helped him get to his point in his life. Yeah, I noticed that as well. I saw a picture. That's very cool. All the names of people that have helped in his life on his vest. Now under his jersey.
Well, congratulations, Adam. This is really exciting time, and I should ask you what's sort of next as far as the immediate future right now. What are you going to be doing over the next month or two to get ready?
yeah, as soon as I can, I'm going to get back on the Plymouth, and I'm going to be training there and and trying to get ready for the next season, whether that's with Columbus or whether that's back in Michigan. So I just want to get as big, as fast, and as strong as I can get for next season. And then an immediate future, I'm just going to be sitting here waiting for Gavin Brady to go.
Nice. Yeah, family and friends. Luca Del Belluz, the guy who grew up playing minor hockey with Columbus pick. Must be exciting to think that you guys are going to be reunited.
Only a few more picks, buddy, till the Wild get to go.
Teammates and line mates in Toronto there with the Red Wings, so it'll be really great to get back in the ice with them.
Well, Adam, congratulations, and for those that don't know, you're a bit of a two-sport athlete, so I know you threw up the first pitch.
Supposedly the Sharks may be trading up. Jiggle's posting a Discord server that the Sharks pick at number 26, but don't be shocked if they trade up to get someone before then.
Pursuing you here on National. No, it's all good. It's all good. I was practicing at the Michigan field off the mound, and I was got used to throwing it down from that distance, and as soon as I got up there,
I think these picks are taking so much longer. It's been time to break down the Riley Smith trade soon, I think. If those three go 18, 19, 20, I'll lose my mind. The pick is in for Detroit.
And there is Adam Fantilli, the third overall pick. And look at the freshman. This is the company he keeps. Paul Correa.
Yeah, for sure, Lucas.
A freshman. Jack Eichel, now a Stanley Cup winner, winning the Hobie Baker as a freshman. And Adam Fantilli. Can't wait to see what he does in Columbus for the Blue Jackets. All right, we're can get you back now onto the floor because 17th overall is the
Red Wings are going up the stage now. After this next pick, I think we're gonna break down the Riley Smith trade because there are some long pauses now between picks.
7 years. They've had a great mate. What are they going to do at 17? Any thoughts on this, Sam?
Jack.
Has that luxury of the second two highest picks. We looked at
Yeah, very deep draft. Mellon, Barlow, Pelika, Salo, Moore. Very deep draft. Is they're still going to be available here at 17, 19, 20.
It'll be interesting to see which way Steve Yzerman takes this. Remember, this is an organization that's had a lot of success going to Sweden. Håkan Andersson, the legendary scout there. We'll see if that's the direction they go.
I'd be pretty surprised if it's not sending
Jason, any thoughts here for the Detroit Red Wings? You see they've added a talented forward in Nate Danielson, and now here they are moments away from the second first-round pick.
Yeah, we're getting into that situation here where I'm starting to get more and more curious about what's going to go off the board defensively. So it's going to be interesting. There's some really good players on the back end still on the board here.
All right, well, let's hear it from the Detroit
Here we
Red
go.
Wings. They make a second first-round pick.
Thanks, Mellon. Appreciate that. Very kind of you to say.
Before making our selection, I'd like to thank all the Red Wing fans back in Detroit at Little Caesars Arena.
Little Caesars.
Watching the draft live. We really appreciate your support. With the 17th pick, the Red Wings select from Sollefteå, Sweden, of the SHL, Axel Pelika.
Pelika, sorry. Yeah, this was a no-brainer, I think.
Big hugs there, especially for his father, Yanni.
I'll make it small here.
Elite level cross-country skier. So,
Yeah, sorry that it's so small. This is a bit weird.
Sweden. And you know what, Chuck, you said earlier, that right-handed...
Axel Sandin Pelika drafted to the Detroit Red Wings. Let's start breaking it down. That's definitely in the, I don't know if it's in the highway robbery category, but like I said, it's in the wow, I'm very happy. This is kind of like a steal category. Best defenseman honors in Sweden's top junior league in 2022-23. Sandin Pelika, let's pull up the numbers on him as well. Axel Sandin Pelika. Hey, let me do my last one.
His skating ability, his poise,
There we go. Axel, mistake-free hockey, they say. 36 points in 31 games in Sweden's junior league, 5 points in 22 games in the first division of Sweden. Moore's still not here as well. Yeah, definitely. Moore's going to be 20 or lower. That's going to be, 18 or lower, which will be great for them. He just turned 18, 4 months ago? 5'11", right-handed shot again. Nice pick here for the Red Wings. Too bad it kind of gets lost in the graphic here. Did I? Oh, sorry. It's 2 L's, 1 K. Maybe I can make the font a little bigger now. One size larger. There you go. Carlson is his idol. Makes sense. Sandin Pelika.
The 17th overall pick. Much more to talk about, but we do want to get it to Kyle. Some things to add.
So Sandin Pellikka, what can I say about him, right? Sorry, I'm just doing all the business pieces here. He's quick. He's offensively minded. His draft stock has gone very high this season with his increase in production. He has a great range of tools that all contribute to his mature and confident playing style. Jets take anyone but Moore, Perreault, and Richie, says Jack. You're going to get a good player, I think. You're going to get a very good player. So those are his offensive abilities. When you think about his skating, that is probably one of his biggest strengths as well. His size at 5'11", I don't think you can call him small, but he is 5'11", 181. So he would have to put on some weight, I think, and I wouldn't be afraid about that. He's very capable defensively, makes good defensive plays. His size isn't necessarily disrupting plays as much, but I think he still uses his size he uses it better than most 5'11" defensemen do, I think, according to what I've seen and what I've read. So he's flashy, he's offensive, he's electric, he has great skating, he loves to carry the puck in all the zones, and I think what he'll have to do is just work on sizing up a little bit, beefing up a little bit, and that will come with time in his development. Fingers crossed Chevy takes more Perreault or trade down to 22 to throw in a left D, not name Morrissey, and pick up Sanheim. True, good point there, Derek. Lucas, I'm born in 05 as well. Played for Frölunda, an elite team in Sweden, same as Skellefteå. I've played against Pellikka. This guy is a beast. No kidding. Really, Lucas? Lucas Pilgrim, look at you, buddy. Well, thanks for joining us. He has wheels. Thank you for joining us and for adding in your thoughts as well. It is an honor to speak to you this evening. And thank you for adding our European scout in there. Lucas, buddy, I think we got to give you a personalized shout out.
Maybe we'll have the busiest offseason of any GM and already moving and shaking with Pierre-Luc Dubois being moved. There's lots of speculation about Wheeler, Scheifele, Hellebuck, etc.
We'll pull up here.
With the 18th overall pick, so what we see in store. Well,
Lucas, look at you, buddy.
Thanks, David. Well, Axel,
man, how about that? You have a lot of experience out here from 1920 all the way to 22-23.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Oh, did I look at the wrong player?
What was the moment like hearing your name called?
Oh, that's what it is, but it's not your last name? Ah, okay. You play with? Oh, you play with him? Ah, okay.
What influence did your dad have on this moment?
Mostly just
well, regardless, you're a European scout, buddy. I thought, because I looked it up quickly and I saw that name had a page, so I thought it was you for a second. But still, cool to have you in here, and thank you as our European scout. Ah, okay.
Well, Axel, congratulations.
Thank you.
Quinton Musty, yeah, he's where is he ranked, Musty? Yeah, he's ranked 22nd by the consensus. Yeah, he's in this draft. Sorry to put you on the spot there, Lucas. I just wanted to look you up quickly to say a special thank you. Hawks are getting a new core tonight. Absolutely.
All right, well, let's get you down to the stage.
Jets are up at pick number 18. Let's see what they do.
Number 18 overall. Remember, they lost to the Vegas Golden Knights in 5 games.
Now, after this pick is when we're going to be looking up. We're breaking down the Riley Smith trade. After this selection is when we're going to do it.
On behalf of the Winnipeg Jets, I'd like to thank the city of Nashville for a tremendous event. To congratulate David Poile for a tremendous career. Thank you very much for all your mentorship. I also like to say hello to all our fans back at Canada Life Center.
Of course.
Winnipeg Jets are proud to select from Owen Sound in the OHL, Colby Barlow.
Nice pick. Yeah, Colby Barlow. This is around where he was slated to go, and he goes. Colby Barlow going 18th to the Winnipeg Jets. Yeah. Youngest captain in franchise history. How about that? Colby Barlow on the consensus list. Ranked 13th. And he goes here at number 18.
scoring ability. He didn't
EP Ringside had him at 17.
because he was dealing with a right hip flexor. Probably at some points.
No, okay, that's really cool, Lucas. That's really fun to be able to watch. I've had a couple of friends who have played in the QMJHL, but no friends who are getting drafted. That's really cool to be able to experience.
Playing in a good program in Owen Sound, 30 goals in his rookie year, 46 this year, 76 goals over a 2-year span.
Nothing to sneeze at. And Chuck, feel like this, you're a Harvard guy. Well, this is the CHL Scholastic.
Let's check it out. Colby Barlow.
How much do you factor that in? You want the full package?
So Barlow, in 59 games with Owen Sound, scored 46 goals and 79 points as a 6-foot left winger. Great stash as well at 18 years of age. 47 points and 30 goals the year prior in 21-22. Do I know David Destroy? I don't believe so. Now the Hawks at 19 are getting a great pick as well. You would think that they'd take Moore here. Oliver Moore at 19. You would think that's the guy to go now.
This could be the future captain of the Winnipeg Jets. Face of the franchise.
Big statement. Future captain of the Jets, potentially. That's the type of guy that Colby Barlow is. Potential future captain.
Just an elite player. Really happy for Winnipeg.
Do you think character played a big role here, guys? Remember what Rick Bowman
Edstrom, yeah. Edstrom should be a late first round, early second round pick.
7 times in the post-game news conference, he said, I'm disgusted, I'm disappointed. He was venting a little bit, but it's just a guy who maybe helped change.
And Stenberg, yeah, same thing. Late first round pick. Good thing I have you in Europe, my friend. You got to join the channel. Join the Discord server. Link in the description. We got to have you for your European breakdowns. Thank you for all this, Lucas. All right, so I'll let them talk a bit more about Barlow, then I'll say my own thoughts.
Chuck, there are certain franchises in the league that you want to draft the best player available, no questions asked, but you also want to try and forecast the fit in your community. Like, is this guy going to be a Winnipeg Jet for a long period of time? I believe you will be. I think that's the other side of this ledger that gave them a lot of confidence here in this slot.
Absolutely. It's always been a battle in Winnipeg, as we all know, and to find these guys that can come in, play well, and want to be there is really important.
And a mature young man, he told Carolyn Cameron at the combine he could grow a beard at age 7.
Wow.
I thought it was a great line, actually. And give us the scouting report. What do you gentlemen have?
Let's do a scouting report on him.
This is a story for me that speaks to character. Last game of the year as a 16-year-old, he's sitting on 29 goals. The entire game they're trying to get on the puck to get up to that 30-goal mark. This guy stands up in the bench in the middle of the game and says, hey, stop passing me the puck. 30 goals doesn't matter. We got to go win this hockey game. He ends up recording 15 shots on goal, the last being the overtime winner to get to number 30.
How about that? What a story.
Looking down the bench of 17, 18, 19, 20-year-olds and saying, stop giving me the puck. We got to win this game. That's the type of character that this guy brings to the table. That's why he's the captain and the youngest one in Owen Sound franchise history.
Wow, a lot of good things to say about Colby Barlow. I didn't know about all that nice stuff about him. You know about his game, but you might not know about the person. Really nice stuff to say about Colby Barlow. Colby Barlow. Let's see some of the quotes on him. Let's see. Very safe projection as a complementary piece on a scoring line who can be on the ice to protect the lead or when a goal is needed. Barlow should find quite a bit of success at the NHL level and can be an effective top 6 goal scorer at the next level. If he can unlock that power stride, it will only lead to more points at 5-on-5 play. And he could be Tyler Toffoli-like. Interesting. Elite shot, strong leader, ultra competitive. Could use his physicality more, though. Interesting on Colby Barlow. And we just learned a lot of nice things about him, too. That's really cool. Data, mark my words, Otto Stenberg will go first round. I think he will as well. Late first. I could see Otto Stenberg going late first, yeah. So we'll go ahead and take a second. We'll keep an eye on the draft. But what I want to do is just quickly break down the trade that was earlier today as the Pittsburgh Penguins acquired Riley Smith from the Vegas Golden Knights in exchange for a 2024 third-round pick. The Vegas Golden Knights subsequently used that money to re-sign Ivan Barbashev. Let me go ahead and pull up Riley Smith. So Riley Smith, one of the original Vegas Golden Knights, he got his Stanley Cup ring. Great on that even strength offense in that 62nd percentile projected wins above replacement. Let me mute the TV here for a second. I feel like I'm yelling more and more. Above average in the league for goals per 60, above average by a little bit for primary assists per 60. Very good special teams player, as he's in the top 20 to 15 percentiles of the power play and the penalty kill in the league. Good finishing, good teammates against decent levels of competition. He's in that 62nd percentile, and he will bring a very, I don't know if I want to say much needed, but like a very welcome presence on the Pittsburgh Penguins. I'm very excited to see what he does with the Penguins. I think he is a perfect type of player for them. And it's too bad we didn't get him in our franchise mode. I like Riley Smith very, very much. So he's going to be great on the Penguins. Intelligent Dice in the Discord server told me to look up Jason Zucker to compare. But hold on, the Hawks will now make their pick first. We'll get back to this breakdown in a second.
A little less fanfare for Kyle Davidson and the Chicago Blackhawks. They already have Connor Bedard at number 1.
Yeah, I thought that Barbashev was going to be going back to St. Louis for sure. This first comes from the Brendan Hagel trade, yes, in 2022.
They won the lottery, and now here they are with the second first-round pick.
Nice quick pick. Here we go.
In the NHL draft, the Chicago Blackhawks are very proud to select Oliver Moore from
Yeah.
the U.S. National Development Program.
Yeah. The Hawks are feasting. Moore at 19, Connor Bedard, Frank Nazar, Kevin Korchinski. The Hawks are feasting. Oliver Moore selected 19th overall by the Chicago Blackhawks, a player who in the consensus rankings was ranked top 10, number 9. And now with that selection being made, there's now no player until Gabe Perreault at 14, who has not been selected yet in the consensus rankings. Oliver Moore at number 9 now drops it down to 14, the next best player available technically. Gabriel Perreault is up next. Moore was ranked number 8 by EP Rinkside, best skater in the draft. So now the Wild are just one pick away, and Jack does not want Perreault to go to Seattle, but Perreault is very good here. Barlow and Rutger McGroarty, very similar players and high leadership value. Good point. That's a good point. Rutger McGroarty is a great leader as well. So now having Barlow in there as well, that's going to be very good for the Winnipeg Jets. Let's see. Oliver Moore, he's a left-handed shot, Dabrowski-Ego. Sorry, Landon said that. So 25 points in 23 games in the U.S. development team in 2022-23. This is? He outscored the big line at the World.
The most amount of points against the best teams in the tournament.
He scored the most points against the best teams. Comp is Dylan Larkin. Whew. Such a good skater. Yeah, that's what I was going to say about him. He is such a good skater. The Hawks are going to love that. Perfect for the youth movement. Perfect for the youth movement.
How much does that change the dynamic of selecting players?
Otto Stenberg? Sure. Let me pull that up.
Again, smart players can find out where to go, but after that, just like, boy, it's a fast game right now. You look at the teams that are successful in our league.
Committed to the University of Minnesota. Oliver Moore goes 19th to Chicago.
Otto Stenberg.
Looking to get back to the postseason. And
yeah, ranked in the 20s, 30s. McKenzie has him 18th.
That's not a bad thing at all.
Whew, 32 points in 19 games international juniors. All right, they're going to commercial break here. Stenberg would be a great Stenberg would be a great selection for a late first-round pick. And he'd be a guy that you look back on and say, wow, about. I think that would be that type of guy. So we'll quickly break it down on Oliver Moore a bit more. Then we're going to go ahead and get back to breaking down the Riley Smith trade. How many tabs going? It just takes a few seconds here. Bear with me. As a Dylan Larkin comparable with being the best skater in the draft. As a centerman as well, that has a ton of value. Incredible speed, and he really stands out in a good class as well. Gets to top speed in the blink of an eye, great acceleration. He can blow by opponents like they're standing still, according to some of the quotes that I'm reading here. His level of speed allows him to dictate the flow of the game. He can spot and turn on a dime and change speed effortlessly, ensuring that no matter what happens, as long as he has the puck, his team will get a scoring chance. Some of the strengths and weaknesses of his game. Oh, you're a D-man. Look at you. So that makes sense. That's why you're able to play with those guys. Yes, I see what you're saying now. So quotes here. Moore might be the fastest skater in the draft and one with the potential to become a real game changer. He's a great dual threat offensive forward that generates much of his line of scoring chances. And again, his speed is his biggest asset. I don't see a lot to nitpick, according to Scott Wheeler of The Athletic. I don't see a lot to nitpick in either his tools or his approach. And he has some unique abilities about himself as well. He needs to add muscle. He needs to work on his puck control. But he has the speed. He has the work ethic. He has the shot. And so important, he has the ability to control the pace of the game. Being able to go super fast, being able to speed up and slow down and be able to turn on the dime and notice these things in just a fraction of a moment, that has so much value as an NHL centerman. And I've seen a lot of really interesting breakdowns of players who are able to do that, like Oliver Moore can, who are coming in, they change the speed, the defense can't react enough, they get blown by. It is very interesting. Katie McDonough, Oliver Moore's skating coach. I'm looking at a picture here.
Katie McDonough, he was a track star as a kid.
Oh, he was a track star as a kid. Interesting.
But initially, he was always trying to skate like he ran. So Katie said to completely revamp his stride and built his technique block by block. Oliver used to bring in video of how Connor McDavid would skate and tell Katie, I want to skate like him. So we just say, hey, trust the process. And now you're hearing the comparisons to the skating styles after all the work he has put in. Katie
So Seattle's up now for pick number 20. And then we'll get back to breaking down the Ryan Smith trade. We're out of time there again. At number 20, I think best player available would be Perreault. That would make Jack furious, but I do think that would be best player available. I could also see Edward Sale. I could see him going here as a winger. Maybe even Andrew Crystal. I think it's between those three.
Proud to select from Cometa Berger, Edward Chalet.
There you go, Edward Chalet, who is actually, I think I have a picture somewhere. He was with our Flyers franchise mode. I think he became a Kraken legend. So a perfect dip into the Dataverse once again. And the GMs are watching franchise mode on Data 782, as we will see once more. Perreault is still available for you, Jack. There you go. And Chalet goes to the Seattle Kraken. I think this is a very good fit for him as well. He played in Czechia's top men's league. Now will they pass on Perreault, though, just to infuriate Jack? That's the next thing we'll have to see. 14 points in 47. Sorry, 7 goals, 14 points in 43 games.
Coming down the road here and getting an opportunity.
6'1" right winger.
In terms of being able to get more minutes this year, huge for his development.
Yeah, he was a tough guy to scout for me because he started
29 points in 29 games with Czechia's U18 and U20 teams.
I mean, coming out of that event, if the draft happened in September, which it doesn't.
Great vision on the ice. Two-way threat inside the zone, both as a scorer and as a setup guy.
I like this detail from Roy Jr. as well.
Great traits, very good traits.
At the end of the year, at the under 18s and Swiss, he carried a lot of the group with him.
Carried a lot of the game. Craig Button says that Saleh possesses every single skill attribute that allows a player to impact a game in a significant way. He's fast, quick, and agile when he needs to be, and he's got a brain that's advanced. So hockey IQ, two-way offensive threat, and on-ice vision, those are his strengths. Well, he needs to work on playing away from the puck, his consistency, and his overall size and strength. Ranked number 25 by EP Rinkside. Ranked number 17 by the consensus rankings.
Yeah, absolutely.
Jack going crazy for Perreault now.
For Seattle
Sawada's, this is a franchise second year in existence.
Landon. So I'll keep an ear on what's happening, but I want to continue to break down the Riley Smith trade, as I was saying. Back over here. So the Penguins get Riley Smith. Let's compare the numbers one more time. Just look at this right here. A guy who has even strength offense versus even strength defense, 84-14, and above average everywhere else, and good on the special teams. Now go ahead and pull up Jason Zucker, and I see the exact same offense, better defense, and I also see a guy who's above average for finishing, teammates, competition, penalties, better at his goals per 60, especially this last season, had a big jump offensively. So I love this trade for the Penguins to bring in a Jason Zucker type guy, but I hope it doesn't mean that Jason Zucker has to leave. I like Jason Zucker on the Penguins, and adding Smith to Zucker and having them both as those types of guys would be very helpful. But worst case, if Zucker is on his way out, Smith does a lot of the similar things that Zucker does. Now, by moving out Riley Smith, the Vegas Golden Knights were able to re-sign Ivan Barbashev, who has been incredible, especially in this last season. He was great since getting picked up at the trade deadline. He's a Zucker replacement, I'm guessing, could very well be. So 58th percentile of even strength offense. This is the last 3 years of weighted average data. Look at this number. If you look at just his offense of 21 to 23, we're getting close to the 75th percentile as opposed to 58th. And his overall wins above replacement is well above 50 as opposed to lower down to 40 here. But his primary assists per 60 are very impressive at 91. He draws penalties, plays with good teammates against high levels of competition. I'm very happy that the Vegas Golden Knights will be able to hang on to Ivan Barbashev. But at the same time, it's going to be sad that they lose out on Riley Smith, who is a great piece for them. Now, the Penguins, they're going to have to decide, are we keeping Jason Zucker or not, as we now have two players who are similar in their style. I guess I could say. We're into the somewhat final stretch here, 20 down, 12 to go in this draft. And let's go ahead and I'll close this. Back to the Twitter world. And who's talking here? Ron Francis is talking.
Thanks very much, Ron.
I see what you're saying, Andrew. So Zucker's likely gone. Yeah.
Next on the board, we can tell you the Minnesota Wild.
Minnesota Wild are selecting. Philly will be making the pick at 22 as well. So picks are coming at 21 and 22. No trades. We thought all kinds of trades were going to happen, but picks 21 and 22 will happen. Two more picks that won't be traded. So 23 to 32, the last options for potential deals.
High school hockey, you don't have to move away from home to play. You can play with your local high school. You can get drafted. You can get a college scholarship. And it's really...
well, keep in mind, Andrew, that's the last 3 years of weighted average data. So keep that in mind as well.
The private programs, you have to move away. And Minnesota does it right. Hopefully they keep it that way.
And a little bit of pressure there as well. They haven't won a playoff series since 2015. Billy Guerin's not afraid to shake things up. We've seen a lot of moves.
You would think that this would be Perrault. We'll see what Minnesota does here, and if Jack will lose his mind.
First of all, I'd like to congratulate David Poyle on an amazing career. David, thank you for your friendship. Like Kyle said, being a mentor to so many young general managers out there, we appreciate everything you've done for us in the game. Also, a great thank you to the city of Nashville, especially Tootsies, for keeping this entire group well hydrated and entertained.
Billy G.
Minnesota Wild proudly select from the University of Wisconsin, Charlie Stramel.
Woo! Jack's gonna snap. Is it like this, Stramel? Stramel going to the Minnesota Wild.
Charlie Stramel is from Rosemount,
Charlie,
Minnesota. So they pick the local kid who just played at Wisconsin. And what do they
drafted 21st overall.
Has Big Rig. That's exactly what they get.
They're calling him Big Rig. Stramel, not Stramo, Stramel. Sorry, I'm not hearing this right. Jack must be losing it. But still, Stramel's a fine enough pick. He won bronze with Team USA at the World Junior Champions. Another guy with good size. 10 goals and 22 points with the US under 18 team. The Wisconsin Badger. Off to Minnesota. Scrambled eggs got picked. Scrambled eggs.
Playing hard, heavy minutes, and
utilizing that process will help him offensively. I'll be fascinated to see how this guy turns out because the numbers really have never popped at any level. I think we're still waiting on that. Maybe
Numbers haven't quite popped, they say.
Yeah, there's a lot of projection in this pick. There's no question. He's a big, powerful body, 6'3", 222. He's fine on straight lines. His skating actually came a long way, I have to say. Like from
Interesting.
last summer to the end of the year, I was more concerned in October than I was, here in April. So he's going to be able to extend plays for his line mates. That's good news. He can fill penalties.
Stramel is actually ranked 43rd, I got to say.
Offense is a question mark. We'll see where it goes.
Ranked 43rd by the consensus rankings. His rankings were all over the place. I see rankings as high as 21 and as low as 43 even in some of the ones I'm just looking at quickly, but he's somewhere in the 40s according to the consensus rankings. Big boy, absolutely. 6'3", 216 pounds already. 216 pounds. Craig Conroy working the phones. This is so loud. Charlie Stramel. All right, so big guy. His skating is not elite, but is still very good, especially for a player of his size. His top speed is excellent, but he has to work on his mobility, his explosiveness. He is a powerful player for sure. He plays disruptively when he's on defense, jumping into passing lanes and closing gaps quickly. While he can finish hits, he prefers using his long reach and size to take away options. So that's a very positive part of his play. His skating, his compete level, his shot, all good things. Got to work on the pace, got to work on the playmaking. So the Wild taking perhaps a bit of a reach as EP Ringside had him at 47. Again, I like him. I don't think it's as much of a reach. Like I classify Simashev going at 6 instead of 15 as a bit more of a reach than Stramel at 21 as opposed to 40 type of thing. But Perreault is left off, is not selected, and Perreault is still available now at 22 to the Flyers. They would love to have Michkov and Perreault. That would be a great couple picks for the Flyers. They will be selecting at 22. But I don't know. What I say, I guess I could call it a surprise. I'm trying to find the right words because these players are all, as we've said a lot of times, anyone from like 4 to 20 and then 20 to 50, so interchangeable. Athletic had him going at number 25 to the Blues even. So 21, see, it's not a huge reach, but I think I can say that it's a surprise. Jack says he's fine with it. I hope I sold you a little bit on him. Avs probably not trading up, going to get 2 late players. Well, just one, right? Because pick 37, they traded it to Tampa Bay for Ross Colton. Speaking of that, we may as well break that trade down as well. Ross Colton going to the Colorado Avalanche for that 37th overall pick, a player who did a very good job in a at an affordable price for the Tampa Bay Lightning. And I gotta save Arizona on NHL 24. He is, don't be fooled too much by the goals per 60 and 99th percentile. His ice time is that of a fourth liner, so take it with a grain of salt. But when he's out there as a fourth liner, he has above average offense, league average defense, draws a lot of penalties, finishes his chances. I like what he's been doing, especially in a fourth line role, affordable, a guy that could probably be a third liner on any other team, including Colorado. So Tampa loses a good piece here. I guess they didn't think that they could keep him for whatever he's going to be costing now. He has been great at $1.1 million, but I guess they thought they couldn't keep him. So the Avalanche got a very good piece, flipping one of the picks. So essentially they trade Newhook for pick 31 and Ross Colton, which is not so bad. I think the Tampa Bay Lightning will definitely miss him, though. Oh, sorry. I was thinking 31 and 37. The Avalanche have 27 and 31 as well. So the Avalanche had 27, 31, and 37, but now just 27 and 31. Yeah, sorry. I was just thinking about the Canadiens picks. I forgot about the pick at 27, their own first-round pick. Flyers are up now. Is this going to be Perreault?
All right, thank you so much, Carolyn. And now the Philadelphia Flyers back on the board. Remember, back at 70, Matvei Michkov taking the forward from Russia, and now they have the 22nd overall selection as well. Let's hear from the Flyers.
With the 22nd selection, Flyers are proud to select
French GM
from the London Knights of the OHL, Oliver Bunk.
Bunk. Or is it Bunt? Or is it Bunk? Oliver Bunk. We thought the French Canadian would have taken Perrault.
Big hugs all around Oliver Bonk and
Bonk. Oh, Radek Bonk's son! No kidding! Radek, I'm about to say, son of Radek Bonk, and it actually is the son of Radek Bonk. Legend! Radek Bonk, his son Oliver makes it to the NHL. Look at that. Sorry, I heard bunt, bunk, bonk. Come on, Daniel. Daniel, come on. Il faut prononcer. Yeah, a lot of players are falling out here. Oliver Bonk. Where was he ranked again? On the consensus list, Bonk was ranked 33rd. Right-handed defenseman out of the OHL. Huge growth potential, ability-wise. Good two-way defenseman. He's 6'1". I like this for the Flyers a lot. As much as Perrault would have been interesting, I like this a lot for their blue line. His production isn't anything crazy. Good in transition. Good toolkit as well. Pronman of the Athletic says that his toolkit looks like an NHL defenseman. 6'1", 6'2", right shot with strong mobility and offensive touch. He's able to skate pucks up the ice, make some skilled play, and he shows good poise from the blue line. So I like this pick for the Flyers. I do. EP Ringside, though, ranked him 56th. So I would have seen him probably being a later first-round pick. But I guess defense is a bit more scarce in this draft, perhaps. Top-end defensive talent. Lucas, I'm telling you, I'm going to come back to this video in 10 years and say, this guy knew what he was talking about. Otto Stenberg. Lucas, man. Good skater and shoots like Bedard. Do you have some phone numbers? We got to call the draft floor. Make the call on Otto. Team's got to make the call on Otto. Let's go. Only 5 defensemen in 22 picks. Yeah. Oliver Bonk, right-handed. He's 6'1.5". They're looking at some of his highlights right now.
He's around you. He's got an active stick. He can lean on you, and then he can sprout them. This is a great little play. Look at that. That's Chase Scullin, first-round pick to the New Jersey Devils. He pokes it off.
Let's see what's up in the Twitter world.
End almost here. A little drop pass. Sees it. Zips it home. He's a little bit more than everything really well. I mean, I just don't see him doing a lot of that at the NHL level because he's not going to have to. He's going to be a minute puncher in your top 4. He's going to match up.
Cal Ritchie, Gabe Perrault, still available. Arthur Staple making comment of that. Lucas, buddy, send him a snap for me. Let him know I'm thinking about him. I believe in him. I want to Patrick Bacon talking about over on Top Down Hockey.
Defensive specialist, I think that's what we have in common.
What influence has he had on your career thus far?
It's been huge. I wouldn't be here without him. Every lesson I learned pretty much from him. So
this is good. So according to, we should have been looking at these from the start, actually. Patrick Bacon had ranked him actually 84th. Respectable. Overall numbers are dragged down a little bit. Not a steal, but not the worst pick. Projected chances of becoming an NHLer, only 8%. Wolf. Yikes. Perrault, he ranked 7th. He's still available. Crystal, Musty, all still available. Strammel has a 12% chance, according to that model. Saleh, 77 of making NHL. Moore, 24 only? Really? I don't know. I love these models for looking at what players have done, but I'm not a big fan of them when it comes to projections. That's why you'll see I often don't look at them when it comes to projecting for what the guy's supposed to do next season and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm going to go crazy with Perrault just like we did with Kemmel last year. I don't want to go crazy yet, but I do think Perrault is starting to get into steal territory.
He said he owes a lot to you. What sort of questions was he asking as you went through?
Benson, look at this card for Benson.
Well, I was out for 29 years ago, so it was way different. We didn't have interviews or gold mines.
Yikes.
So,
Willander.
Just enjoy it. You're going to be looking back on this for a long time, and you know what? I'm sure this is going to.
Oh no! Don't look at Reinbacher. Oh no! Oh no! Here we go.
Congratulations to you and the whole family. Thank you very much. David.
Mishkov 100. Look at that. Projected chance of becoming a star 100%. Simishev. Yikes. And Reinbacher, let's see it. Ah, let's go! Whee! Now I love these models. These models are exactly correct. I love projections. And the Rangers are up for their pick now. Let's do it.
The New York Rangers are proud to select from the U.S. under-18 team, Gabriel Perreault.
Gabriel Perreault. Great choice, especially at 23. Perreault to the Rangers. Perreault and Lafrenière can be together.
His father now as an NHLer. His brother Jacob was also.
Et là, sur Jacob Perreault, lui était repêché par Anaheim. The Ducks drafted his brother Jacob Perreault last year, the year before, was it? Yeah, Gabriel Perreault off to the New York Rangers. We'll check on him in a second. Just want to see his last few things here. And Tilly, Carlson, and Bedard. All right. Let's see what Patrick Bacon has to say about this one. Come on. EP Ringside has him 18. The consensus rankings had him number 14, I believe. Patrick Bacon had him ranked number 7. An elite playmaker, really good stick.
You better be aware because he'll find a way, a seam,
Come on.
delay, or some way to get you the puck. I love his playmaking ability.
Oh, it's not there yet. Apologies. All right, let me just pull this up here.
So far for me, guys, I don't know how that's a straight suit was fantastic. But listen, this kid here.
Gabriel Perreault, what has he done points-wise? Let me just pull this up here. Most points in U.S. development history ahead of Austin Matthews. Is that it? He had 45 points in 23 games in the USHL. Right winger, 5'11", incredible playmaking ability. Most points in a season, gotcha. Most points in a season by a national team development player, even ahead of Austin Matthews. Gabriel Perreault. That's hard for me to say, Gabriel Perreault. Gabriel Perreault. Even though he's from Illinois, he's not even a French Canadian. It's hard for me to not say Gabriel Perreault. 132 points in 62 games from Perreault. Patrick Bacon, I know he's just salivating for this one. As they're going to commercial now, I just want to see if that card that he had on the projection cards. I don't want to put too much stock into it, but I'm always interested to see a player, especially one who has, I see it right here, 93% likelihood of making the league, 49% of becoming a star. Scored over 2 points per game in the National Team Development Program and USHL this year. Comparable rates to 4th overall pick Will Smith in the same league. And the Rangers get an absolute steal at 23. He says 22. Yeah, at 23, they had a big steal, according to what his rankings say. Andrew Crystal, Quinton Musty, Riley Height, the top 3 forwards who are still available according to those rankings. And Lukas Dragicevich, Luka Cagnoni, and Mikhail Guliev, the top defensemen who are available as well. Let's get back to the main Twitter page here. I mean, Twitter world. Tactics loving it for Sandin Pelika. David Comfrey signed there as well. Ryan Bacher, blah, blah, blah. Oh, I would take that jersey. I'm an NFL draft addict. No kidding. I don't know much about the NFL draft, that is. I don't know too much about the NFL draft. But just this year, it's gone quite as unexpected, though, I do have to say. Yeah. I don't think the NHL draft is one that is like historically known for like going crazy off the walls for unexpected picks. I think in recent years, there's been more of those. But even for this draft, where we'd seen like some big reaches, I think for the most parts, players are going within 5 to 10 picks, like max, of where they were on average, consensus-wise, slated to go. Still so far, Mishkov, Pelika, and Perreault. Yeah, I think Perreault falls in that steal category. Yeah, it's true. No trades at this point either. Crazy that there haven't been any trades. Now talking to Perot.
Up in the office with Chicago, he's got to cheer for the Rangers now.
I guess so. He's probably more of a Rangers fan than he was before.
What kind of influence did he have early on in your career?
Such a big influence. I'm so thankful to have him. I mean, he's my coach growing up, so having him is so special.
Memories of that cup win?
Yeah, I think I was pretty young, so I think living in those moments is pretty cool. Like with my brothers and my sister is definitely pretty special.
And now time to chase your own. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you so much.
David?
All right, thanks, Carolyn. And
The Preds are up for this next pick. The pick is in, and they're headed back to the stage once again. After selecting Matthew Wood at 15, they now pick again here at 24.
Time so far in this first round. Matthew Wood taking at 15. And they're approaching the stage. We have a little bit of time to at least speculate on what's going to happen here. But one thing, Chuck, really quickly, you just said no trades yet. You kind of shrugged. What's going on?
I don't know.
Predictions here?
Some trades add a little spice, but it's pretty unusual. Maybe Elliot or Jeff can recall a draft where we haven't had a trade through the 23rd or 24th pick. So a little unusual.
I could see the Predators going like. I could see Guliev. I could see Guliev here.
To the GMs, come on, get busy, do something.
Absolutely. Let's spice it up.
We can use a little spice, but we'll see what the Nashville Predators have to say with their second pick here in the first round at number 24.
Manifesting Musty. Let's see. Barry Trotz is up.
Thank you, Nashville.
They're loving him.
To make our second pick of the first round, our captain, Roman Josi,
And
legendary goaltender, Pekka Rene.
there he is. Josi and Rene.
With the 24th pick of 2023 draft, Nashville is proud to select Tanner Molendyk.
Okay, another goalie forgetting another name. Crazy. Molyendi. Like that? Molendyk, is that it? Molendyk. Did not see him going here at 24. Yeah, you're right there, Lucas, for sure. It takes time to adapt.
He's a guy who started to enter the first round conversation as the year wore on, but you wouldn't have thought so at the start of the year.
Tanner Molendyk, a bit of a surprise, I have to say there.
Started to wear on him, and I think they sat him down and said, listen, here's what you need to be. Don't worry about it.
Molendyk, where was he ranked in the consensus rankings? He was ranked 37th. Another defenseman. There's a lot of good defensemen out there. Dragicevic didn't go. Guliev did not go. They went defense, but they went with Molendyk instead.
Clean everything up. So he's got that type of character to him. He's got some small town. Look at his face. This guy's a warrior. 7 or 8 times he's been hit in the face. He's blocking shots, high sticking guys, giving high sticks.
Good BC boy.
What sticks out most about his game?
EP Ringside had him ranked 39th, 37 points in 67 games, 6-foot left-handed D.
I don't think he's the type of guy you have to lean on to create offense.
Not the guy you have to lean on to create offense. Very good skater. Neutral zone defensive force. No, it was Vinny. It was Josi and Rene were both at the announcement, but it was Rene who messed it up. So Price messed up Reinbacher, and Rene messed up Molendyk. Makes me laugh. This came from the Matthias Ekholm trade. This was the Edmonton selection that from the Ekholm trade, and they get Molendyk, a defenseman.
As soon as they were on the board, and I think they're going to love this guy by all accounts.
Yeah, the Saskatoon Blades really running a good program down there. Colin Priestner's the guy who took over some years.
Yeah, you could do worse at 24. You could do worse at 24.
The
to do the job. But he's done fantastic.
Mobile defenseman who has an eye for creating offense, plays with more bite than your typical offensive-minded D-man. Good skating and mobility, gap control, puck control, all things that you definitely want to see. He needs to work a bit on defensive pressure, his aggressiveness, and his strength. I wouldn't say he was a top pair kind of guy, but he blocks shots. I could kind of see him being, as some of these other potential... All these, my goodness, guys are yelling. I have to yell on top of their yelling. I could see him being like a more skilled Chris Russell type of thing. He has the second most blocked, in his draft year with Medicine Hat Tigers, Chris Russell had the second most blocked shots of all time. So if Molendyke himself can find his niche in the NHL as a shot blocker as well, he could turn into that valuable second pair D-man that Chris Russell was at the height of his career. So on a defensive D who's playing 8 minutes a night blocking shots, but I think he could be a top 4 guy who has some offensive upside and who just eats up those blocks like a lot of other defensemen in the NHL do right now. Barry Trotz at the mic now.
Obviously in the first round. Yeah, absolutely. It's been wonderful. Our fans have been outstanding. It's really interesting because, the board, some teams are all over the board, which we knew it would be. It's such a deep draft, and it's going to be preference. So we got our preference, and so we're really happy.
Jeremy, welcome back, buddy.
Both competitors. How hard did you try to move up? Well, I've been trying to probably last 2-3 weeks, but
trying to move up for 2-3 weeks in the draft. Wow.
With especially the front end of the draft, they were very, very secure in that. And then there was such a good group of players in the next batch, so we knew we were going to get 1 or 2 of them. So we feel
crazy. There's been so many trade talks, but 0 trades for the first 24 picks.
How can you speak to that? How frustrating is it? Because there was that idea and knowledge there that this was a good deep draft. No one wants to be the guy who traded away a pick who eventually becomes, an all-star Hall of Famer, etc.
Yeah, well, again, you don't see teams trading back all that often, or unless you're maybe trading for a player like Ottawa did last year and break it, but you don't often see teams trading back, especially in a great draft like this. I guarantee you every scout is telling their GM, there's a great player here, let's stay and get this player. And that's what we've seen happen. Again, we haven't seen anybody move up or move down, never mind trade for a player.
So a little bit inactive, a little surprising.
Yeah,
definitely surprising.
It speaks to the quality of this draft. And I think
has there ever been a round 1 with no trades? I would think that in all of history, yeah.
2015, so this is
I bet it's been a very long time.
On the board, isn't there, Sam, as St. Louis makes their way to the podium for
Blues are up next. They're making their picks. That means 25 picks of no trades. And with so many teams having multiple firsts, right, as Jen G. McKenzie says here, very surprising that no trades have taken place.
That's why we haven't seen the type of movement we expected. All right, well, St. Louis has the 25th pick. This is courtesy of the Toronto Maple Leafs. This is part of the Ryan O'Reilly trade.
Toronto's first from the Ryan O'Reilly trade.
9th pick, courtesy of the Tarasenko trade. So we've seen a lot of the Blues. They already picked 10th overall with Valley.
St. Louis Blues are going to select Otto Stenberg.
Stenberg, there he is! There he is, Lucas! Otto Stenberg off to St. Louis with the 25th overall pick. Look at that. St. Louis getting Dvorsky at 10 and Stenberg at 25. I thought that would be defense, and yes, they did do it. Otto Stenberg off to the St. Louis Blues, a team that has a great defensive core, but will need to replace them as they're aging. Great two-way defenseman. Lucas, take it away with the scouting report, our European scout. Let me know what you got. Let me know everything about this guy in a couple sentences. He played with Frölunda and their junior team.
I think you're looking at a two-way guy who might provide a little bit more.
Lucas's old teammate.
Maybe would be expected than what we saw at the start of the year. Captain of the U18 team.
Captain of the U18s. Captained them to a silver medal in 2023 U18 World Championship. Aggressive with the puck, rips all over the place.
This is an outstanding pick. I'm taking a look at what the Blues are doing here with Dvorsky in the middle.
Wow, this guy loves this pick too, eh?
You guys seem pretty excited about this pick. This is a 25th overall pick. That's
one of my
yeah, he's pretty excited.
This kid's an excellent player.
Sharks taking a goalie next. We'll see. Have Blackwood and Kakkonen right now, but no really goalies, not much in their system. That's true. He has all the great tools, great skating. He's elusive and creates space for himself. a lethal shooter as well. So dynamic play, shot and release, board play, transitional game, ability to read the game, all his strengths. Needs to work a bit on his playmaking and I guess his size and strength as well. Pretty good skating, good shot, and hockey IQ. Thank you, Lucas. Otto Stenberg, off to the St. Louis Blues.
He does all the other stuff. Like his defensive fall off. There's no slump. There's no slouch. He's going to block a shot.
Sure, he has all those skills, but does he have that dog in him? Does he have it, Lucas?
Here's a little bit more of a scouting report here on what we can expect.
Here's what they got to say about Otto Stenberg.
But certainly in a couple of years, we can expect to see him on a blue and white.
Oh, Josh, you should be. This is a great pick at 25.
This play here, watch this real closely. He's smart enough on the zone entry to recognize he's going to be challenged. He creates space with his reach, goes across the seam. That little play when he had the puck way out made him hard to defend there. That was a really little slick play. Backdoor, one-timer. Listen, he's got an elite release. So I can't understand it. I keep saying it. That's just what he does.
And he has 2 Michigans this year as well, which were not shown there. Let's get you down to the floor with Jeff Merritt.
You know what? There may not be a better team, DA, in the NHL at doing rebuilds on the fly than the St. Louis Blues. And you look at what happened last
The Blues now
year.
they have Stenberg, they have Dvorsky, Snuggerud, Neighbors, Bolzuk.
In return, they get a player by the name of Zach Davis. Have a wonderful year in the QMJHL.
A good leader. Really cool, Lucas. Thank you for adding that.
Now drafted by the St. Louis Blues and Stenberg and Dvorsky. You have Jimmy Snuggerud from the University of Michigan. You have Jake Neighbors, who's about this close to making the NHL as well. You have Paul Holford, the netminder, who this year will be the backup in the St. Louis Blues organization.
Centerman, who's looked very good in the Swedish Junior League.
Really quietly has repopulated the pipeline for the St. Louis Blues, and today's another couple of chapters in this rebuilding book for the Blues.
Yeah, in fact, they're going to have a 3rd first-round pick coming up. And the last time they had 3 first-round picks was 2007. Lars Eller, Ian Cole, and David Perron. So some pretty good NHL careers still percolating with those 3.
I wonder what Patrick Bacon says about.
We'll be back on the board soon, but next up it is the San Jose Sharks, who have to recall about 2.5 hours ago took Will Smith, 4th overall. Mike Barron getting a little info from his son to help make that pick, maybe. Here we are, San Jose at 26.
I wonder what Patrick Bacon says actually about Otto Stenberg. Otto Stenberg, as we're reaching close to the end of this draft. It's been a long one. Pick number 26 is in. 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. 7 more selections, including this next one. Stenberg, they don't like him according to these numbers, but he is described as a safe pick by Kevin Weeks. Excuse me. Patrick Bacon actually doesn't like this pick a lot, but I like it a lot. Lucas likes it a lot, and Sportsnet likes it a lot as well. So the numbers, the projection numbers may not be great, but I wouldn't put too much stock into that. A late round steal could be David Edstrom as well. Keep an eye on him. Can Lucas lead the Data 72 men's league team? That would be great. Joel Lundqvist is your team?
Together in Colombia. Now I'm really looking forward to follow your career moving on here. Best of luck. Keep going the way you do.
What influence has he had on your career?
Thank you so much, first of all.
Caleb Jones not going to be qualified by Chicago, by the way.
A really big player in Colombia, and I've looked
Carey
at him,
Price.
my whole life.
This guy.
It was the first player I learned the name of in Colombia in the 18. So, I mean, it's been really fun to play with him the last season, and yeah, to just see.
Sharks are up for pick number 26 now.
The Sharks are proud to select from the Sudbury Wolves, Whitney Musty.
There he is. Musty. Very good pick right here. The right pick as well, I believe. This is a good one. Let's listen to what they have to say about Musty before I bring in my thoughts. Very nice pick here for the Sharks.
And here he is, the dream coming to fruition, selected 26th overall, Quentin Musty. Grew up a Red Wings fan, but he's going to turn it to a Shark fan.
Landon calling it left and right.
Yeah, the first overall pick. You're getting the potential to hit a home run with this pick. The one thing that sticks out about him, analytics people will really like the fact 50 even strength primary points. So a guy who was just collecting points in the power play, but a big factor in what a lot of what Sudbury's offense had to had to accomplish this year.
Interesting.
Derek McKenzie came in November as the head coach, replaced Craig Duncanson. From that point on, he got 64 points in 44 games. McKenzie challenged him to be more physical, to increase better awareness of his play away from the puck, and to pay attention more defensively. As a result of that process, he ends up with those 64 points in 44 games. But the even strength primary points, some analytics people look at.
Landon, look at you, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, look at him, guys. He's a big body. He's got fantastic hands. Fantastic hands. I'm with you, Sammy. Like the back half of the season, I really appreciate the detail.
He'll turn 18 in a week about. On July 6th, he'll turn 18. 78 points in 53 games this past year. 6'2".
All these little tangibles, Derek McKenzie got in his head and did a great job. And Matt is now assistant coach here at Bruno Nashville starting next year under Trotzy.
And his walk-up song was flashing lights, and so we'll like the red light quite a bit out.
I'll check it out, Lucas. I will.
He's not even 18 yet. I mean, he's a big physical specimen, 6'2", over 200 pounds, and he turned 18 in 8 days. So
8 days.
We're still in a shrinking environment. This is bizarre to me. Is my girl getting smaller? What's happening here?
Now the Avalanche have two of the next 6 picks. Do they use both, or do they try to make a trade here? I'll be curious to see if they make the first trade of this first round, perhaps. Quentin Musty going to the San Jose Sharks. They're going to commercial break here. We'll go ahead and turn it off then. We'll just go ahead and mute it right there. Quentin Musty, according to Dover Prospects, he is a physically gifted winger with a heavy release. He needs to improve his processing speed and overall awareness on the ice, but he could grow into an impactful NHL forward with proper development. John Tessler of Smot Scouting says Smot, S-M-A-H-T, Smot. Smot Scouting. Musty has an excellent shot from range, distributes quite well off the rush, and does a great job of creating space for himself. His ability to create consistently at 5v5 is a credit to how well he handles pressure. And Austin Broad of Future Considerations says that he is a dual threat offensive winger who has the chance to create a scoring chance every time he steps on the ice. So he's a good playmaker. He has a good shot. He can drive his own line. He knows where to go in the offensive zone. But what he needs to work on being more physical for his size. He is 6'2", but he's not quite using that physicality, and perhaps also his engagement level / consistency. Aside from that, I like what I see from Quentin Musty. I like the upside for what he can do, especially at 26th overall. According to the consensus rankings, he was number Musty 22, according to the consensus rankings. So getting him at 26, I think, is a nice, safe spot to get him at. Not a big risk to the Sharks, and especially after they already picked up Will Smith, I think they're happy to have Musty at 26. Very, very good. Now, for the players who are still available, according to the consensus rankings, the top one who's still available would be 21. Andrew Crystal at 21 is the highest ranked player of the consensus ranking who's still up there. Callum Ritchie, Gavin Brindley, Mikhail Guliev, Riley Height, Ethan Gauthier, Bradley Nadeau, a few of those names that gets you up to 30. Even David Edstrom, as we've been mentioning on this stream so far. Lukas Dragicevic, however you want to say it. A lot of those guys between now and then. And the last 6 picks could go in the final 6 selections of this first round. I like it a lot for San Jose. You're not going to get guys who are like going to be, I can't say the things that I said about Bedard for everybody. It makes sense that we're in the late 20s where guys, okay, they need to work on this. They got to work on that. It makes sense. And Musty has some things to work on, absolutely. But I love the upside, and I like I think it's a relatively low risk pick as well. Crystal is a boom or bust player with 2 late firsts. Maybe you pull the trigger. Good point here. I think Colorado would do well. Best available, according to Sportsnet, are Ritchie, Edstrom, Guliev, Dragicevic, Brindley, Haltinen, and Height. Crystal not even on that list. I could see it being Callum Ritchie here. I wouldn't think it would be crazy to go Crystal, but I don't think it would be. And then if it's defense, I think it's Guliev, but I don't think it's anyone else aside from those 3. If only the Stars had their pick, eh? Only time will tell if Nils Lundkvist was worth it. The pick is in, and the Avalanche are moving up to make their selection.
That's good news for them as we'll be picking 31st overall. They got that from Montreal recently with the Alex Newhook going to the Montreal Canadiens. So Let's see what's going here. It's going to be a changing of the guard a little bit in Colorado, guys. 8 UFAs, 3 RFAs, so going to look very different than that championship team from a year ago. Let's hear what they have to do. Again, their first pick here with Chris McFarland.
Congratulations to the Vegas Golden Knights and to David Poile.
Colorado Avalanche are proud to select from
straight into it.
Callum Ritchie.
Callum Ritchie, there you go. Nice pick. Probably the safer selection. Probably the lower ceiling than Crystal, but the safer pick here at 27. I like this. Callum Ritchie going to the Colorado Avalanche.
The Oshawa Generals, Callum Ritchie now has an NHL home with the Colorado Avalanche.
They got to stock the covers. Yeah, they do. Toronto has been shopping 28 hard to try and get immediate help now. Makes sense that they're doing that as well. Ritchie did slide, yeah, for sure. I like Dvorsky a lot. At number 10 for the Blues. Yeah. He led Oshawa in rookie scoring with 45 points in 2021-22. He was third on Team Canada with 9 points at the 2023 Under-18 World Championship. Callum Ritchie.
Really hurting, right? So it tells me a lot about his character, about his drive, about his push through, and
Callum Ritchie going after scoring 50. He was point per game in the OHL this last season. I still say he's at least a couple of years away. 6'2" centerman, 59 points in 59 games. A perfect guy that fits the timeline for Colorado. They're going to need him when he's actually making it, as opposed to guys like Newhook who are getting buried in their lineup right now.
These guys are underdeveloped. While he has good height and still playing at a decent weight, he's got a lot of room to put strength onto that frame. What's he going to look like moving forward here? What weight is he going to play at? How much taller is he going to get?
Hurricanes exploring trade talks on Brett Pesce, according to Dave Pagnotta as well, of the fourth period.
Here we go. We come out of the commercial break. Colorado takes.
Brother Ethan is a D-man with the Kingston Frontenac, so again, we see a lot of that. Siblings playing, siblings both getting drafted in many cases as well, so hockey runs deep in many families.
Oh, I just want to look at my following. Why not my For You, just my following. There you go. On Winnipeg, things have been quiet on the Hellebuyck trade front since it became known that he wants $9+ million. Not much this week on Scheifele either, not yet anyways. Yeah, those Dave Pagnotta tweets are very good. Yeah, Sharkies got musty. Will and Quinton about to be destroying worlds. Look at that. Okay, oh yeah, over in Gatineau? How about that? That's cool.
That's the part I really like, that they look up to these future great players and they're loving every moment of it. Now they themselves find themselves as
So let's hear Callum Ritchie's interview, then we'll break it down a bit on him as a player.
Yeah, it's unreal. He's obviously a player that I try to model myself after, and he does everything so well. So, whatever can take and win from him, I'd love to do that.
How gratifying is this moment considering how much you have to battle this season?
Yeah, it's unbelievable. And, going through the season, you try to enjoy every second of it. You only go through your draft here once. And I thought I grew my game a lot over the season, and I'm glad I'm here. And to be drafted out of Colorado, it's unbelievable. It's a dream come true.
Well, congratulations. It looks good on you.
Thank you.
Kyle?
Well, Carolyn, this is not the first time Callum Ritchie has been at the center of attention.
Maple Leafs are up next. They've been trying to move their pick. Will they keep it? Callum Ritchie with the Oakville Rangers, Hockey Night in Canada, years and years ago. All right, so he is a 6'2", 187-pound right-handed centerman. I'd say he's still a good 3 years away or so, but when he makes it, he has the skill. He's an offensive centerman with already good pro size and top-tier hockey IQ, according to the Hockey Writers. Looking at some quotes on him, he was already an alternate captain as a 17-year-old, so he is one of their most consistent forwards down in Oshawa. Key role in the penalty kill, taking late-game face-offs. That's all from Scott Wheeler. He's been inconsistent, though, Corey Pronman says. Top prospect, but inconsistent. That's why I say a few years away, of course. He has good stick handling, good playmaking, good compete, good two-way ability, good on the draw, but he has to work on his speed, his strength, his offensive inconsistency, all that stuff, which will come over the next 2-3 more years in junior / the AHL. And he had a torn labrum all year. Well, there you go. There you go. I didn't know that, actually. Did he not play this full season? No, he played in 22-23. So I guess it wasn't all season, but he was dealing with a torn labrum. No kidding. Connor hoping that Toronto does something here. Brahma Bull fan hoping for a trade, but no, Toronto is making their pick. They're on the stage, and here we go. Toronto picking at number 28. Who will they select? Do they go for the boom or bust of Andrew Crystal? Do they look at a Gavin Brindley or a Guliev or a Riley Height? Let's see.
Just wanted to thank the city of Nashville for some great hospitality. Thank Billy Garrett for the open bar bill at Tootsie's all week. And we'd like to congratulate and thank David Poyle. He's been a mentor to many of us, and congratulations on a great career. To make our selection, I'll call up our head scout, Wes Clark.
Wes Clark.
Toronto selects from the London Knights, Easton Cowan.
Ooh, interesting. Is Cowan like this?
Easton Cowan is the latest member of the Toronto Maple Leafs, another London Knight.
Cowan. If I say Cowan. Easton Cowan. This guy was ranked number 70 by the consensus rankings. This is the biggest pick of the night of the discrepancy of where he was ranked and where he's going, I think. Easton Cowan. Really? Let's look into this a bit more. 53 points in 68 games. A right winger, 5'11". I'm not gonna lie, I know nothing about this guy. There's some people I know less about. This guy I know nothing about. Easton Cowan going 28th. A riser in the second half. EP Ringside had him ranked 66th. The consensus rankings had him 70th, and he goes 28th. Dale Hunter elevated his game, they say, in London. The London Knights process is one to trust, for sure. Still.
He earned it. This is a little bit outside the box, but good on the Leafs if this is the guy that the best available on their list.
Now, Bridges, Ontario, if you need more information, he's the center, about 5'10", 170. Obviously, some room to grow. He's an 18-year-old. And you saw by the position they put him in the stands, as you said, he had the longest walk of any prospect here.
He had a long walk, yeah.
Right now. But there's the Leafs management welcoming the newest.
I see him ranked as high as 34th and as low as 90th. Even Elite Prospects had him listed as notable prospects. How about that? As low as notable prospect. I don't know how many rankings Elite Prospects did. As high as 34 by Craig Button and as low as 90th or 118th even from FC Hockey, or a notable prospect from Elite Prospects.
The exact same thing for this guy. I mean, he is a real greasy player. I love that.
A greasy player.
Yes, right. We've seen some pretty notable 28th overall picks: Corey Perry, Justin Williams, Mike Victor.
I think I don't mean boom or bust in terms of boom, he'll be a good player, or bust, he's going to be a bust. I think I mean boom or bust in his elite capabilities. A bust in his elite capabilities would still mean a very good NHL career. That's what I'm trying to say. Boom or bust in his elite capabilities. Elite Prospects, one of his game reports on Easton Cowan with this line: he's intelligent and creative, and for the most part, doesn't rely on advantages that he won't have at the next level. Okay, interesting.
Well, Wes is right there in Toronto, but
Easton Cowan
is living right there in the area as well. He's living up Grand Bend area.
We'll mute this for a little bit. So we're down to the final 4 selections in this draft. We've made it 29, 30, 31, 32. St. Louis will have their 3rd pick. They're still on the clock. Carolina will get their 1st. Colorado will get their 2nd, and Vegas their 1st. I think whoever's getting picked in these last 4 selections, there are going to be some good talent level players. Because if, according to the consensus rankings, The top players who are still available are 21st Andrew Crystal, 25th Gavin Brindley, 26th Mikhail Guliev, 27th Riley Height. Let's see what Cowan has to say here.
I thought they liked me, so like I said, I'm gonna never forget.
Bridges, Ontario, just outside of London. What does it mean?
Hey, from your small town, Dexter.
It means a lot, and I'm playing for my hometown there in London as well, so it means a lot. I'm
in EA terms, medium bottom 6.
So, yeah, I just want to thank everyone, that supports me, and obviously I'm excited to be a Leaf.
And we hear the panel with the scouting report on you, but what type of player are the Leafs scouting?
Yeah, I think I'm a very, hard-working, 200-foot player, and I love to win, and I think I, lead well on and off the ice. So I'm very excited to get down there in Toronto, and, I guess show them what I'm about.
Well, congratulations and enjoy.
Thank you.
David?
I think it's fair to say he's maybe as shocked as you guys.
I think the Blues definitely go defense here. The pick is in, they're making it. I think they definitely go defense here, and I think that it's Guliev. I would say it's Mikhail Guliev right here. If it's another defense, I think they definitely go defense. If it's not Guliev, I would say that it's Lukas Dragicevic. I want to say, I think it's Dragicevic. But I would say that it leans Mikhail Guliev here for the St. Louis Blues.
NHL players now, 4 all told. And remember, the OHL didn't play 2 years ago, so a lot of these guys missed out on that opportunity.
You're trying to see where the kid's not in the NHL. You're out of the illegal thing. All right, so there he is. He's picked now at 28th overall for the Toronto Maple Leafs. And the St. Louis Blues, once again, this is a theme tonight. They're back on the clock. Again, their third pick.
Third pick now.
Trade. Any overall thoughts before we get to St. Louis?
This first coming from the Rangers in the Tarasenko trade.
Well, before St. Louis gets up here,
But NHL says Crystal's elite.
first round. I thought this might have been the team, Chuck, that would take their 2 late firsts and try and move up, but obviously they love the list.
Well, there's still a lot of talent there. It's considered a deep draft. So here we go. Let's get you back down on the stage for the third time tonight, the St. Louis Blues.
St. Louis Blues are pleased to select Theo Lipstein.
Whoa! Theo Lindstein. Barely any claps on that one. Bobby Brink has gone to the same team. Lindstein. Where was his ranking? Lindstein or Lindstein? Lindstein. Theo Lindstein. So they do go defenseman. Not the defenseman that I thought. Theo Lindstein, left-handed defenseman, 6', 181 out of the SHL. I don't hate that pick. I didn't think it would be him if they went defense, but I do like that they went defense.
In the entire draft. I know Ryan Bacher's a very good defenseman.
This was originally the.
When I was in Nashville,
Let me see. This is pick what? 20? We said 29. Let me see whose pick this was originally. I'll pull it up here on Cap Friendly. Pick 20. Okay, so yeah, this was originally Dallas's pick that they traded to New York, and then New York traded it to St. Louis. So yes, Dallas's 29th overall pick that went to New York, that went to St. Louis, and St. Louis drafts Theo Lindstein. Number 40 according to the Athletic, number 74 according to Rinkside, and number 45 according to the consensus rankings. Yeah, this isn't a crazy reach. Of all the defensemen available, he's among the top 3 to top 5 who were there. So this is the guy they wanted, and they went out and got him. I don't hate that. Theo Lindstein. Leafs fan, confused why we didn't trade down for Cowan if that's who we wanted. I'm with you, Ryan. Without Kyle Dubas, I guess no more trading down. I'm with you, though. I'm surprised a few teams, including the Leafs, have not tried to trade down. 6'1", 18 years of age. He had 2 points in 32 games, playing almost a full season in the SHL. So look at him, 18 years of age. Not getting a lot of ice time for sure. I'm sure of that, but still, good on him for his development as well. NHL physical skills, but not mental skills, it looks like. Did Blues select all Swedes? No, Dvorsky's a Slovak. Someone Slovak, Swede, and Swede.
I think that's what Doug Armstrong is looking for.
The European scouts are working hard.
He a lot of young players into his system, but he certainly has the desire to
Theo Lindstein. Again, a guy I'm not going to lie and say I know a lot about Theo Lindstein. I guess other teams don't want to trade up, but you would think that there would be when there's still a lot of players who have dropped. Let me go pull this up. Lindstein, 6'1", ranked 40s, 50s, 60s, all over the place. A lot of hype around him coming into the draft, which tends to happen when you split most of your age 16 season between the top junior league and the SHL, which is what he did. Very good. He has good two-way ability, as we say, for most defensemen. He's a powerful skater, has a smooth stride, allows him to back check effectively, and makes him a dangerous player on the rush. Hockey IQ makes him a great off-puck player, allowing him to find open ice in the offensive zone and anticipate plays in his own end. Lindstein also has a really good shot for such a young defenseman. Very good. The biggest thing he has to work on seems to be his pace or his ability to make the right plays while under pressure at the speed of the pro game. Makes sense as such a young player in such a high league, so I'm not worried about that. Some quotes. He is almost always the first player back in the defensive zone. He has good footwork when he needs to transition in reverse. This is from Dober Prospects. On defense, he can use a bit more muscle, but that doesn't stop him from being aggressive. He also shows a lot of initiative every time he hops onto the ice. Very good. So has to work on his playmaking and his pace of play / his decision making, but good point shot, good puck, off puck positioning, and smooth skating. Yeah. Data, do we still know a lot about these prospects? Because I'm lost. No, I'm not going to lie to you. There's a lot of the guys that I have to look up for the first time. Well, a lot of these guys. Some of these guys I've been looking up for the first time. I'm not going to go ahead and lie. As much as I'd love to tell you that I know everything about these prospects and this is all coming out of my head, that is not the case when we get to the later picks. As we have just 3 more to go, the Hurricanes, their pick is in. Only 2 more picks that we can hope maybe we see a trade for, but no trades in this first round still. Brad Trelving being interviewed.
Number one, I like how competitive he was. He's been a guy who's really developed more in the second half of the year. He had a really good playoff. He's taken a big step in the last year. So, big motor, real competitive kid. We think there's some upside there. I've been asking the same question to all the Canadian general managers. Anything else cooking like that? Nothing cooking right now, and if there was, I wouldn't share with you anyhow. But
nothing cooking.
We'll keep working away at it. That's very much fun. Yeah, you got that.
I love the honesty there from Brad Trelving. Leave me alone, Elliot. I know you're going to be bugging me all the time. So there it is.
Hurricanes have to make their selection now.
Bradley Nadeau.
Oh, wow. Sorry, my microphone cut out there for a second. My apologies.
Bradley Nadeau.
Sorry.
BCHL, and boy, did you rip it
I was scrambling for a second. My microphone disconnected. Nadeau. Salut, Nadeau. Another nice French-Canadian name for me to say. Love those.
And what was cool is he played on a line in the BCHL with his older
Nadeau. Thank you. So, Nadeau, let's see. According to consensus rankings, he was 30th. Bradley Nadeau, a centerman out of the BCHL, the league that who was it that was playing there? That we said earlier. Who's that player who was playing there? But then he made the jump over. Who was that player who was playing the BCHL? Then he went to Europe. Or no, to the U of Connecticut. That's who it was. Who's the one that went to U of Connecticut? Was it Perrault? The one who went to Connecticut, whoever that was. Anyways, so Nadeau, according to the consensus rankings, he was number 30, a centerman out of the BCHL. Let's go ahead and pull it up. Nadeau. Oh, it was Wood. There you go, Matthew Wood. Thank you. Nobody taking Crystal just yet. Is that Yirka Halby in here? Is that you, Yirka? Or is that someone else named Halby? Welcome to the stream regardless.
Yeah, there's no doubt. He's got that frame, guys, that you don't really...
Bradley Nadeau from Penticton, British Columbia. 30th overall pick here by the Hurricanes. 113 points in 54 games. Of course, in a lower caliber league. But you're his brother. No kidding. Well, tell Yirka I miss him. One of the most consistent commenters back like 2-3 years ago when the channel was first starting. Just from your name, Halby, I remembered right away. Yirka Halby, one of the all-time channel legends. Let him know I say hi. And thanks for you for being here. Penticton, thank you. He had 35 points. He was goal per game and had 35 points in 17 games in the playoffs. Landon would love that, eh? Landon would love to see a second Marchment and Damiani for the 30th overall pick and to get Crystal. Sorry, for the 31st, you would say, right? The 31st overall pick to get Crystal. 31 and 32, the last two picks in this draft. Still no trades as we have two more to go. The Avalanche have their second pick after taking Callum Ritchie at 27. They now pick again at 31. The pick is not in yet as they still have 2.5 minutes to decide. And then Vegas picks at number 32. Amazing. That's great to hear from you, Halby. Really, really nice to hear from you, genuinely. And thank you for being up here so late. I know it's, 4:30 in the morning over there? If you want to give me shout-out data, Lucas Hardfeld, born 05, Sweden, D-man, not registered with Pilgrim. There you go. Lucas Hardfeld, our European scout of the evening. Thank you for all your help, my friend. Let's give him a look as well after we hear from Nadeau.
And what about your brother Josh, who you're going to play with next year at Maine?
Yeah, he's a really good player. Hopefully his name could get called here in the draft. But, I'm really excited to play with him for the next few years in Maine.
Is it better if you're teammates as opposed to competitors?
Yeah, there's a lot of competition between me and him. So when we're teammates, we can't really compete against each other as much.
Well, congratulations and all the best. Enjoy tonight.
Thank you.
Elliot?
There you go. Monsieur Nadeau. Oh, hold on. I'm talking about the gym of the Hurricanes now. Pick is in for the Avalanche, by the way.
Well, it's a big night for us. We scouted very hard, obviously, when we knew we were going to have our season wasn't going the way we wanted. We were able to acquire some draft equity, getting a centerman, getting a defenseman, and a captain of the Swedish national junior team. All our background work came out really strong in their high character and their skill level. So it's the first step in adding players, and then bringing in Hayes in the other day. So we're serving a little bit of today's team with an eye on tomorrow's team.
I think we make all three picks.
Same offer for 32. There you go.
When I went to bed last night, I thought we would. We weren't really close on any deals for these picks for players. Got a couple of calls today, but nothing that perked our interest. So I felt very strong.
So a lot of calls. That's the theme, it sounds like. A lot of calls, but no trades.
All right, thanks, Elliot. And Doug Armstrong busy. The only team with 3 picks here in this first round. And Chuck, we talked about it earlier. We thought there'd be a bit of movement. Last year, we watched the draft last year. I hope you did. 7 different trades were made on draft day.
So let's pull it up here. Who are the winners and losers so far? Arizona, yeah, not looking too great. Lucas Hardfelt. Let's check it out. Let's look at the page of our greatest European scout. 17 years of age. Does that mean you're eligible for the 2024 draft? 12 points in 20 games as a defenseman in the Junior 18 First Division. 3 goals, 9 assists, 12 points in 20 games, and 47 penalty minutes. What are you doing out there, Lucas? And then the year prior, 8 points in 16 games with 37 penalty minutes. I like those numbers. For a 17-year-old as well, I like those numbers. Are these postseason numbers? No, these are also regular season. Oh, plus postseason. Gotcha. And then I can't see much more than that. But that's really cool to see. It's been a nice time having you in the chat here tonight. I appreciate you sharing so much. Lucas, man, keep it clean, buddy. And I missed. Oh, I'm sorry. The pick just went. Guliev goes to the Avalanche. I just missed the announcement of it because we're looking at Lucas's page. We need some scrappy players. Guliev goes to the Avalanche. I like that pick very much for the Avalanche. Guliev. Where's my page? There it is. Guliev.
Talking about a Samuel Gerard, Byron McHale, McCarr. This is the next line in terms of mobile defenseman. This guy here plays 3 different leagues, as is customary for players in Russia, in the VHL, the NHL, and some KHL games as well. His MHL numbers, which is where he spent most of the season, 1.5
My U17 numbers. I took maybe one minor penalty per season. Clean guy out there. Data was always clean.
Who skates really, really well. And so those two things combined allow him to provide offense from the back end, yet still with good feet to defend. So he'll be a fascinating type of guy. But when you talk about the ability of being mentored by those similar type defensemen, there's no better place than to do it with Colorado.
Guliev, left-handed defenseman out of the MHL in Russia, 5'10".
He's a distributor more than a shooter.
Yeah, Stramel, I agree. He was one of the larger reaches of the evening.
5'11", 172. He's a dog on a bone in the defensive zone. I'm not talking physical.
Dog on a bone in the defensive zone.
He never goes away. He's always in the back pocket of forward. He's always there trying to win puck battles. I really like that about his game.
And the GMs love the tenacity of those.
Love that tenacity. How about that? Mikhail Guliev, drafted to the Colorado Avalanche. Let's listen to what they have to say about him.
Now we're going to see it. It's tough to get some real good action videos out of Russia, but here he is. Like he's fronting the play.
That's good, Landon. Lucas, buddy.
Here he is, and this is a
Hold on.
really
Lucas, stay connected to the channel. Join the Discord. Do something that we can stay in contact. I will create you and put you in our NHL 24 franchise mode. Book it. Crystal for Vegas. I could definitely see Crystal for Vegas. Absolutely. They're on the clock.
open up the backdoor lane. His teammate steps in and zips it home. It's subtle, but it's a big deal.
The fourth Russian selected so far in this draft.
So Colorado turns Alex Newhook into Ross Colton and Mikhail Guliev. Great pick here. A guy who was consensusly ranked at 26 goes here at 31.
It's funny when you think of the Russian talented players, and you don't think of defensemen.
The pick is in. Sorry, Landon. The pick is in. And Vegas will select. Maybe Crystal drops to round number 2. Dallas can still do something. I'd almost want to do coverage of the second round, but that's a whole other undertaking.
They do a great job of developing skill in that country and coming.
Guliev, biggest standout trait is his skating. He's a threat whenever he has the puck and a few strides worth of space. Very patient, highly intelligent and creative puck mover, and can make tough plays at a quick pace. He creates a lot of controlled exits and entries, and he projects to run power plays at higher levels and be a point producer versus men. Corey Cronman of The Athletic. Exciting offensive-leaning defenseman whose play revolves around his ability to move with the puck. Skating and agility are his strengths. Same with playmaking vision, power play playmaking, and transition offense. While he needs to work on his size, his strength, his defensive timing, and his puck battles. But I definitely see him as the top 4 type of defenseman. Am I going to stream rounds 2 to 7? I don't know about that. Honestly, I think I got it. It comes down to how I'm going to use my time, and I got to do the career simulations. I think I'm going to start with Reinbacher, and then probably go to Mishkov and Fantilli and Carlson. But I think I would like to stream rounds 2 to 7, but I think it would make more sense to work on the career simulations during that time, because that is a huge time commitment. Please, Vegas. Taro gets a higher ranked D at 31 than Arizona at 5. You're not necessarily wrong. We'll see in the future. 2 very different types of defensemen, though.
So, they use the draft in a different way, but,
well, because 2 to 7, nobody walks up to the podium. It's just they announce it from the table. It goes a lot faster. It's a whole afternoon. All right, Dreams, welcome. Final selection of this first round of the draft. Here we go. Who's going to go? No, you go. No, you go. Here we go. Thank you, everyone, for congratulating us.
The Vegas Golden Knights would like to congratulate David Poile on a tremendous career as a general manager in the National Hockey League, and echo the comments of many of my previous colleagues thanking him for his mentorship and leadership in the game. So all the best to you in the future, David. The Vegas Golden Knights are pleased with the 32nd selection in the first round of the entry draft to select from Frölunda, Sweden, David Edström.
Oh, there he is! There's your boy, Lucas! David Edström, A very good pick. Just like Otto Stenberg. Edstrom, someone you may not think about at this point, but I like this pick very much for Vegas. He was very impressive at the Hlinka Gretzky Cup. He goes 32nd overall. Lucas, the European scout, he knows what he's talking about. Lucas, the insider, as Edstrom goes 32nd overall to end off the draft. David Edstrom. Look at that. Lucas. Good draft here. Good pick. Good pick. 5 goals, 9 points in 7 games with Sweden at the 2018 under 18. Sorry, at the 2023 under 18s. Lucas on the ball. Jim Nill, come on. Landon's waiting for it. Joseph says, smash the like before you leave the chat. Appreciate you, my friend. Leave a like. Don't forget to subscribe, as we'll have. Now we did the draft. We covered the first round. Now let's see what NHL 23 career simulations have to say about this. We've already done some other players like Stavkovsky in the past. Connor Bedard on Chicago we've already done. Now we have many more coming with Carlson, Fantilli, Reinbacher, Michkov. I can't wait to do these simulations. Derek says, depth in this draft probably makes teams feel good about the guys they're picking rather than trade. It'll be interesting to see if teams try to trade up at the top of the second round. Now, after the first round was we're happy where we are, let's just do the pick. Thank you, Joseph. Appreciate you being here, my friend. I'll do whatever the people want. So whatever people suggest in the comments, I'll do. But I'm going to start with the big ones. No trades tonight, it sounds like. No trades. As the draft now comes to a close, everyone's going home, everyone's going to bed. No trades. Edstrom was ranked on the consensus rankings. Edstrom was ranked 32nd. 6'3", left-handed centerman from Sweden. See you later, Andrew. Thank you, Getachocho. Appreciate you. Dubas reaching out to GM Data for second-round suggestions. I'd be happy to answer some questions. So let's finish it off with some David Edstrom thoughts. As I just got to pull those up. Unfortunately, I couldn't have 50 tabs open. Got the Devils, got Timo locked up. Yes, that's true. DeBrincat news never came around. Connor, see you later, buddy. Landon, you got it. So David Edstrom, drafted 32nd overall here by Vegas, a big two-way centerman who has shot up the draft rankings after his play in Sweden's top junior league and his showing at the World Junior Championship. Did very, very well there. His rankings, I see him as high as 18th and as low as 67th. So going here at 32, he's responsible defensively. He has much more to his game than just his defense. He has good hands and a great mind that allows him to make quick plays at a quick pace. Very valuable asset right there. A quote here from The Athletic, Corey Pronman, saying that Edstrom is good around the net, kills penalties, wins a lot of battles, and makes enough plays with the puck to produce good offensive numbers. And Aaron Vickers of FC Hockey says that Edstrom is an intriguing center who touches all the elements of the game with above-average play. So he's great defensively and offensively, good skating, great pressure. He would do well to gain muscle, and he would maybe stand to build a bit more of just pure skill into his game. But his offensive and defensive abilities are absolutely there. So there are my thoughts on Edstrom, my final thoughts on the last prospect. Lucas also adding some thoughts here that he is a good overall player. David Destroy. He was well-trained and he's good with the body, very good hockey IQ, and born to be a leader. Edstrom, David Destroy, David Edstrom, all the same. Very good. Don't know the pick for the first. Yeah, he's good, but consensus rankings had him around like 15. He's a big defensive defenseman that a lot of people are shocked to see it go at number 6. He's a good prospect, absolutely. But to go that high, that was definitely a surprise. Appreciate you, Mr. Michael Tummings. Good content. Can't wait for the career sims. Michigan's my vote for the first one. I got to get started on these right away. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining me this evening. That just about does the draft. I think the biggest winners of the evening, I think St. Louis making all 3 picks and getting 3 great players. They're definitely winners for doing that. I think that the teams that picked up some big steals as I go down the list, I think Dvorsky at 10, Benson at 13, Sandin Pelika at 17, Moore at 19, Perreault at 23, and I think I'm going to say Guliev at 31 are probably the biggest picks in terms of way above where a lot of people thought they were going to go. So appreciate all the viewership this evening, all the people adding their thoughts in the comment as we went. Thank you for reacting with me. It was a really fun time. We'll be back to do it again in 2024. This is our second annual live stream. Last year was just the first half. This year we did the whole thing, a full 3 hours and 45 minutes sit-down live stream. So I appreciate the donations that came in to make it paying my salary here at the computer. Appreciate that a lot. What do you think about Reinbacher? Ben, Julien, je pense que I think he's a very good. Let me put this in a different way, actually. He is not just a very good. I think he is one of the best defensemen that are going to come out of this class. I think he's probably the most NHL-ready defenseman coming out of this class. And I think he's also going to be the top pair right-handed guy that the Canadiens have been looking for. Now, is he going to be better than Michkov? Totally different player, but is he going to be better? Maybe not in terms of what he'll bring long-term to the franchise. Maybe it's just the Canadiens are more comfortable with the scorers that they have, and they don't want to risk mixing things up with another one being in there. Rather just fill the hole that we have. That may just be all that it is. But I do like Reinbacher. I don't hate the pick. I was surprised by it, but I like it. Pleasure, Lucas. Thank you for being here. It was a fun time. Golden just got in here as well. Not a fan of the Toronto pick. I don't think I am either. Thank you, Garachocho. Thank you, Mackenzie. Thank you, everyone, for being here this evening. Have yourselves a wonderful rest of your night. We'll be talking soon. At the very least, in less than 48 hours, we'll have our Friday night live stream of MLB The Show 23 with the Pittsburgh Pirates. Then we'll have a Saturday live stream of the start of free agency. And I wouldn't be surprised if there's more between now and then, as we'll be going live for breaking news and analysis as deals happen here in the offseason. No trades this evening. I'm sure more trades will happen over the next few days before July 1st. Merci, Julien. Thank you for the kind words. Thank you for being here. Leave a like, leave a subscription if you haven't already to be made aware of all those uploads. I wish you all a wonderful rest of your evening. Quite a first round. I appreciate you being here, and we'll be talking soon. Good night, everybody, and thank you once again.